With a win last week over Olivet Nazarene, the 2022 Saints became the sixth team in program history to win 6 consecutive games. That's the most wins ever strung together in St. Francis football history. Today, they look to set a new consecutive wins record against not only the Elements, but the number 16 team in the country, the Roosevelt Lakers. These two teams are built for these windy conditions as both rank in the top 15 in most rushing categories. For St. Francis, their quarterback Sam Tumulty is approaching several St. Francis records, including rushing touchdowns, rush attempts, and the scoring record. For the Lakers, their two-headed running attack features Joliet product Kevon Johnson and the nation's number 2 runner in Tyler Tenner. A Saints win today sets up a conference championship showdown on the south side next week. Batten down the hatches. St. Francis and Roosevelt kick off in just a few minutes on the USF Sports TV network. And good afternoon as the captains make their way to a very windy center of the field here at Joliet Memorial Stadium. Nick Jacobs and former JCA head coach Dan Sharp with you ahead of this very important game for both of these two teams. St. Francis finally bumped back into the top 25 in the country. First time they've seen the top 25 since the preseason. They are 6-2 with an undefeated 5-0 record in the Midwest League. They host the number 16 ranked Roosevelt Lakers at 7-1. They do have a loss in conference. They're 4-1, but it was a 1-point heartbreaker to St. Xavier a little bit earlier on in the year. The storylines here, Coach Sharp, go on and on and on.
Well, it's a beautiful day here if you like flying kites. It's going to be interesting. And right now, at the coin flip, this may be one of the biggest calls of the game to see who can get the wind behind them and through the coin flip here.
So while you're looking at it, the wind is going from end zone to end zone right at the back of our referee there. So how does the strategy work out? If you win the toss, what's your decision-making process?
If I win the toss, I definitely defer. And I would defend the south goal, obviously.
Yeah, with the wind at your back.
If you could get a good kickoff, which you should in this weather, pin them a 3-and-out and force them to punt into the wind, field position to start the game would be excellent. This is going to be a game of field position. I'm sure that's big on Joe Curry's mind today and how he manages the game. You know you got 2 quarters with the wind that will help you score. But, boy, field position is the key.
There you go. Looks like Roosevelt wins it. They defer. They chose the south end zone just like you mentioned. And they will have the football to start the game here as the Saints get their pregame chant on one end of the field. You see the flags at the top of the goalpost. They will be horizontal all day. We are under a high wind warning, and we will be for the remainder of the afternoon. At least we dodged the rains. Earlier today, thunderstorms rolled through, and the winds were actually a lot worse an hour ago than they are right now. That isn't to say that they are weak by any stretch. They actually blew the soccer goals from just behind the end zone all the way to the end of the stadium property over by Jefferson Street. Like the wind is crazy today. But we were talking beforehand, both of these two teams are kind of built for that.
Well, I think right now, Joe Curry in his mind is like, okay, we need to be able to run the ball into the wind. Time of possession last week, as we were talking earlier, Nick, where they held the ball for 38 of the 60 minutes. Mm-hmm. I think that could be huge. If you could drive the ball, maybe take 6, 7, 8 minutes off the clock, and you take half the quarter away from Roosevelt with the wind at their back. So the key here is to get a couple first downs.
As we take a quick minute for our national. can tell, there's a bit of juice in the stadium today with both of these two teams needing a win to have any kind of chance at a conference championship as they both chase the Cougars of St. Xavier, the other undefeated team in the Midwest League besides your USF Saints. Pre-game routine a bit disturbed with the win. And so we got the national anthem there late, but we're protected. We're in the warmth of this beautiful press box here at Memorial Stadium, unlike some of our camera operators who have to brave the elements. So we thank them for wearing the hats and the jackets today and giving you the best view possible as the Saints and the Lakers get together. So the Saints will have the ball first, but they will be going into the win. That benefits the Lakers when they do get the ball. The punting, the kicking special teams game is going to be very, very important today. Oh,
the win could wreak havoc with the kicking game. So
yep.
It's going to be very important. That's why it's important to get some first downs. We do not want to be 3 and out and punting in the shadow of our end zone.
Someone might as well just go to the football now and put a finger in there. Let's not pretend like he's going to be able to tee it up. Thank you very much. The kicker is Andrew Bucaro. He will be kicking it off to James Williams and Keenan Haley. Keenan picking up his first ever Midwest League Offensive Player of the Week award after a career day yesterday, or last week against Olivet Nazarene. Ball's in the air. Short kick. It'll be taken by one of the up-backs for St. Francis. Dan McLaren, the running back, was there at the 22-yard line. I'm not sure if he called for that fair catch before he caught the ball or not. He's like, I'm good. I don't want to return it. So we are good. The whistle did blow it dead. The Saints offense will take over behind Sam Tumulty, the junior quarterback, one of the best rushers in the entire country. As a matter of fact, he is tied with most rushing touchdowns in a season with 14. Another 3 touchdowns will give number 22 the career mark in rushing touchdowns. So he is on the verge of a few records here for the brown and gold. But that is the furthest thing from his mind right now, as he's got a pretty big test in front of him. They're going to start at the 25-yard line. And they're going to keep it on the ground naturally, and it's going to be the quarterback, Tumulty. He'll be strung out to the boundary and out of bounds. Not too many yardage to be gained there, and I think that's the battle. That's going to be the game. It's going to be Sam Tumulty and Keenan Haley trying to run the ball.
Definitely, and if you key on Tumulty, look out for Haley. He could have a big game too. Mm-hmm. That time they tried to take it to the outside to the left, and tremendous job by the linebackers at Roosevelt to run that down.
No gain on that play. It's 2nd and 10. Dan McLaren in motion. They're going to go opposite to Haley. He needs to be one man, but he will be tackled down at the 30 after a gain of 5. A bit outnumbered on the outside, but a nice gainer on 2nd down.
Yeah, nice to see a little misdirection play right off the bat here. They showed motion with a jet look going to the left, and then here comes Haley around the right side. That's a nice gain.
RU has one of the top 15 defenses in the country, as you see a nice big hit at the end of that play. Holding teams to 14.4 points per game, which is 13th best in the country. 3rd down and 5 for the Saints' opening drive. First look at a pass. Against the grain, Tumulty flicks the wrist and throws it away. And here we go with the field position game, Coach. They're going to have to punt it into a very stiff wind. The wind was blowing at, well, it says 17 miles an hour, but it's more than that. Yeah, it's gusting up to around 50.
Yeah, I think the gusts, and it's been consistently 17, 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Roosevelt runs a 4-3. They have big, tough defensive linemen. Their linebackers good. They're just going to play man-to-man going into the wind. Mm-hmm. They're going to come at you they're going to put 8 guys in the box. And they're going to force you to throw the ball.
And they're not even putting a returner on the field. The snap, and I think it was blocked. That ball, I think, is live on the sideline, picked up by Roosevelt, and the field position game comes into play. The Lakers will have it at the Saints' 30 after a punt block going into the win for the Saints.
Not only does the win create havoc in the kicking game, but also for the long snapper. That's a long way for the ball to get. And it looked like we had a step to our right to get the ball, and it took our timing off. As you can see, it looks like he kind of stepped to his right, and then
I'm not sure he would have got it much further than that, even if it wasn't blocked.
That's true.
With the win. And now comes a very potent rushing attack. It's been the Tyler Tenor show, but Kevon Johnson, the JCA product, the player you coached through his junior year in high school, will be the tailback here in the pistol. 3 wide receivers, they turn, they give to number 6. Nice tackle in the hole, a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards for Johnson. What does Kevon Johnson bring to the table?
Kevon Johnson is very quick and very elusive. He's also pretty tough for his size. He's a tough guy to tackle with the low body of gravity there, but he's got great feet, great vision, and he can fly.
He sure can. Yep, Kevon Johnson, 5'7", 168, a senior out of Joliet Catholic. 257 yards on 54 carries. He averages just under 5 yards per touch and 43 yards per game. Pretty much taking the backup role this year behind Tyler Tenner, but starting the game here.
Here they are in the I formation.
Straight I formation. The give to Johnson. In between and down he goes. Nice tackle by Mike Johnson. He's going to need a big game today. And a nice stop there on 2nd down. Maybe a yard there for Kevon. Brings up 3rd down and 6.
Excellent play by Johnson there. He's kind of on the backside of the play. Came right down the line of scrimmage. And no cutback lane at all for Kevon on that play. I think anywhere past the 40 is field goal range with the wind at your back today, Nick.
Absolutely, and that's the Roosevelt situation. A very strong wind at their back. Wind going end zone to end zone. Pistol formation again, but a few more wide receivers. Wing back left. There's the snap to Wilson. The handoff to Johnson. Sneaks through into the 2nd level, but a nice tackle by Carson Hansen, the freshman from Wilmington, getting some playing time. And a nice tackle on 3rd down. So decision time now for the Lakers, and it looks like they're going to send out the offense here on 4th down and 3. And Tyler Tenner will come in, the star running back for Roosevelt, number 20, a junior from Racine, 887 yards, 14 touchdowns.
They must feel, Roosevelt must feel they could get the 1st down. If not, they still have St. Francis with the wind in their face.
Yep. I formation again. Tenner now the running back, the bigger of the 2. The give, he cuts back. He's tackled behind the line.
Great
it looks
play.
like, he'll be a yard shy.
Great job by the Saints that time on defense.
Scott Tumulty and the senior TJ Neal among them. Big stop for the Saints defense. They will take over. But not only do they have to deal with the Lakers defense, but a strong wind at their face.
That was a great defensive series by the Saints there.
3 and out on one side, 3 and out on the other, Coach. Here we go.
That was huge.
Well, 3 and out on one side and a turnover on downs, the other to be specific. But see if the Saints can figure something out on the ground here. Keenan Haley to the right of Tumulty. Trips receivers right, 1 left. Ball right in the middle of the field on the 20-yard line. Sam, draw play. Right up the gut. Head down, slam down at the 27-yard line. That's a great pickup on 1st down. They'll pick up 5.
It's very good pickup because right now, Roosevelt is not even concerned about the passing game. They're going to play man-to-man. They're going to keep their linebackers and keep a safety up close to the line of scrimmage. So anytime you can get 5-6 yards against a stacked defense like this, that's excellent. And the little delay there opened up a seam for Tumulty.
5 wide here, no running backs. Now Keenan Haley goes in, he'll get the jet sweep. Looking for the edge, turns it up the sideline, shoulder down, past the 32, and looks like be right at that line to gain, and they're going to give it to him. 1st down Saints. Man, those 1st downs are going to be hard to come by. It's a big one for number 27, the reigning offensive player of the week.
Yes, they are. That play, excellent play call because you had 3 receivers, you put Haley in motion, and you get away from that stacked defense where you got everybody in the line of scrimmage. Now you're just running off receivers and hitting that edge. That was a great call. See if we come back the other way with it now.
Single safety deep here for Roosevelt on 1st and 10. Haley again in motion.
Same play.
Same play. They give it to Haley again. Nice spin move. Ooh, but he's tripped up right at the 37. Another gain of about 5 on 1st down.
Yep, the Saints are running out to the outside. They got blocks on their secondary. And because it's tough running inside with the linebackers and the safety step up. Spreading them out to run the ball.
See it one more time here by Haley. Same play going the different direction. That play is key if you got to get your wide receivers blocking.
That's correct, Nick, and they're doing an excellent job blocking on the perimeter.
2nd and 6, 2 wide receivers right. Looks like a wingback left is DeJuan Gavin. Haley again gets his number called right up the gut into the second level, and he's close to a first down, but the ball came out, but the whistle was blown. No indication yet. Looks like body language is a Saints ball, but we also have an injured Saint on the ground.
Can't see who the player is there. It's down.
Bottom of that pile after the run. They do move the chain, so it's going to be a first down. No turnover for St. Francis. We'll see you again here.
What a great surge the offensive line got on that play, and Haley just running hard.
Oh, I think it's Keenan who got bent over the defensive player. If Keenan can't go, that takes a big weapon away from the St. Francis offense. So, yeah, he was definitely down by contact, so a good call by the officials, but the concern now, the health of Keenan Haley.
Yeah, Keenan, player of the week in the conference with his game against Olivet.
It didn't look too bad, but, man, he was just bent over in a very awkward way over that defensive player.
Not serious.
Yeah.
Daniel McLaurin had a pretty good game last week too, didn't he, Nick?
He did, yeah. He picked up about 50 yards, as you see.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, it does not. That's a big loss for this offense. Keenan had the best game of his career for the Saints last week down in Bourbonnais against Olivet, but as you can see, favoring that left leg. Trying to put weight on it, but
looks like it could be an ankle. Hopefully it's nothing serious and they maybe get him taped up, but we'll keep an eye on that one. That's a big loss, especially we talked about the running game being so important in today's conditions.
We're going to see a little more of Dan McLaren and perhaps James Zillinger as well, who now stands to the right of Sam Tumulty. Back at it after the Haley run for first down. He's trying to walk it off. At the bottom of your screen. There's the snap to Sam. Play action. He's going to keep it. Cuts it up the hash marks. Makes one miss. That should have been a loss of 3, Coach, but he made it a gain of 4.
That's amazing what he can do. They played that perfect defensively, but with Sam's talent, he just makes people miss and gets positive yards, and here we are with a 4-yard gain.
DeJuan Gavin back in. James Hartsfield goes out. They give him 4 on the carry. 2nd and 6 as Saints approach midfield here too. And even if they don't end up scoring, at least they're giving a little bit of ground here.
Exactly. I see they got the 2 tight ends. They got their heavy set in against this strong 4-3 defense.
Option play. They give it to McLaren. Nice vision. Cuts it up past the 50. Takes a few Lakers to bring him down. He picks up another 4. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 now for the Saints.
St. Francis again doing a good job. Misdirection, utilizing a lot of players in the run game here.
I saw Zillinger in motion to create a little bit of a misdirection before McLaren puts his shoulder down to pick up a few. He was taken down defensively by Cortez Draper, their star linebacker out of Elmwood Park.
Yeah, that motion to the left with Tumulty going left, that sure drew a lot of interest by their defense.
Every single person in the stadium. 3rd down and 1 officially for the Saints. They're at the Laker 48. Give to McLaren again, trying to fight to the line of scrimmage. Nice second effort, but it's not going to be enough. He'll be about a foot shy. 4th and 1.
No doubt here what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're not going to kick it very far to the wind. They've got 4 defensive linemen and 4 linemen. They got a safety walk up, and it's a 4-4 look at a defense, 8-man line, so that creates issues in blocking because you may be outnumbered inside.
8th play of the drive coming up.
Let's see if they run behind those twin receivers again like they were earlier.
Well, they're going to move the one receiver left to right. Option play. They give to Dan. He's taken down 5 yards deep. Turnover on downs for the Saints. And the Lakers take over at midfield.
Yeah, the linebacker did a good job. He was cross-keying the halfback in the backfield there. Even though motion went away, he was cross-keying to the other halfback. Watch the play.
Once more, 4.5 tackles for a loss on the season.
When you're playing outside linebacker against a team of misdirection, as soon as motion goes away from you, you key the away back to see if he's going to come back on some kind of a counter play. So 2 big 4th down plays in this first quarter, Nick. each side.
Fullback and a running back here for Luke Wilson, the quarterback. The give to Johnson behind his fullback. Scott Tumulty there for a solo tackle after a gain of 5. And that is a difficult proposition for a safety to make, to tackle Kevon Johnson one-on-one.
Scott Tumulty is as good a tackler as I've seen, Nick. He never misses a tackle. Look at that. Look how quick he is to the play, and he's just so strong in the way he tackles. I mean, to have a guy in the middle of the field to be able to read like that and be that quick to the line of scrimmage.
Two-back set now for the Lakers. Tenor on to the right side of Wilson. Johnson to the left. Gosh, pick your poison here. It's going to be a throw. It's a check down to Tenor. He's got plenty and a first down. Tumulty escorts him out of bounds at the 26-yard line. That is a pickup of about 15 yards, but a flag behind the offense. The quarterback, Luke Wilson, not moving. It's going to be on the Lakers. Wipe off that first down. Wow.
Boy, that's fortunate for us because they did a little cross action with the backs there, like a little cross back action, and then hit in the flat there. Ran off the defense on the left side, and just that little cross fake there. You lose number 20.
Wow.
And sneak him out of the backfield, but penalty.
I was looking at the replay to try to see what happened, and I missed the call, but the line of scrimmage does not move, so maybe there was a hold downfield.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. It was a spot foul on a hold downfield. Same formation.
Yep.
Only to receivers to the other side.
Tenor to the left, Johnson to the right of Wilson.
Same
play, but they go downfield. Nearly, it's in the air and still in the air, and a completed pass. Oh, what a play. It is pulled in by Blaze Griffin. There were 3 Saints that should have intercepted the ball.
That might have, 5 people may have touched the ball on that play.
I have never seen a play like that. It was tipped into the air, and 3 Saints had a chance at the pick, but Blaze Griffin, number 18, right place, right time for the Lakers to pick up a first down. Wow. Unbelievable.
Saints defended that play perfect. You know, fooled me once the first time. This time they had him covered coming out of the backfield. Forced him to throw the ball upfield. Tipped the ball.
Look at that.
Look at how
4 of them. Blaze Griffin. What a headsy play by 18. First down, Lakers. Johnson to the outside. Makes 1 miss. Cuts it back inside and picks up 3, maybe 4 yards. Again, a great running back turning a loss into a gain.
Well, it's funny what you're seeing here. You're seeing St. Francis do it with Sam Tumulty, getting him on the edge, and he can make people miss. And now you're seeing Roosevelt doing it with their running back, Kevon Johnson. And it's just hard to make a tackle of those guys in the open field.
Yep. Oh, the Saints are going to want that one back. A turnover going the other way like that. Second down, and we'll say a long 6 here for the Lakers. 4 wideouts, and Johnson, the tailback. Under center is Luke Wilson now. Stretch play. Johnson looking outside, turns the corner past the 20 to the 10 before he's out of bounds. Hit by Angel Mata, and it's going to be first and goal for the Lakers. You want to talk about efficiency in the red zone. Well, they're perfect. 31 for 31 scoring in the red zone. All but 1 have been touchdowns this year. They are the best red zone offense in the country.
That's amazing. That's quite a statistic there.
Yeah.
It looks like they're also going to be attacking the perimeter. Nice job, as you said, on that stretch play. You get Kevon on that edge. He's got the speed to make something happen. Same look here. Motion of trips.
Alex Tran, the receiver, goes left side. The give to Johnson. Inside run, not a ton of room. Ryan King there to stop him just outside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, Roddy King. The Saints are really taking away the inside running game. You know, Johnson and King on the inside there, along with the linebacking crew, they're doing a good job. Looks like they brought some big guys in here.
Yeah, a whole new offense. It's a line change. Yeah, they brought some big guys. Looks like Tyron Washington, one of the big tight ends, 6'4", 242.
Yeah, they got 3 tight ends in the game now.
Troy
High
White,
backfield.
Jack Young Jr., the big tight ends here. Tyler Tenor, the ball carrier now. Inside, the bowling ball, shoulder down, but nothing there. Stopped at the 5, 3rd down and goal at the 5-yard line for the Lakers.
Saints are such a disciplined defense. They really take care of their gaps well. The linebackers read well.
How was that not an interception? Oh, my goodness.
I think 4 guys had a chance to intercept it. A very aggressive play by the receiver, though, to come back and get the ball.
Great play. Tenor again, the tailback. I formation. Handful of tight ends. Play action, they want to throw it, nobody's there. It's in the air to the back of the end zone and incomplete. I think the receiver in the end zone fell down. It's going to be 4th down and goal.
Saints pressure. That time from the backside, from the right side of the offense. Look at the pressure here. They had a blitz from the backside. Forced him. He couldn't really get himself set to throw the ball. Plus, great coverage.
Yep.
Double coverage at the back of the end zone.
Nick Mabutis, Jalen Cooper in coverage. The field goal unit comes on. It's Andrew Bucaro, the junior. He is 1 for 1 on the year. Not very many opportunities. They score touchdowns typically. Snap is good. Hold is iffy. The kick is up, and it is good. Not without some adventure, but 3 points on the board for Roosevelt. Just the 2nd time that they have been denied a touchdown from the red zone.
Still 32 for 32 scoring.
Still 32, yeah. No doubt about it. Saints led by 11th year head coach Joe Curry. He picked up his 56th win last week against Olivet Nazarene, brought him to 500 on the season. The Midwest Coach of the Year twice, including last year. 22 years with the program. 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Holding them to a field goal feels like a victory.
Really was, especially after they had that play, the pass play so well defended and the kind of crazy bounces it took and put Roosevelt into the red zone. Defense has really been playing well. The only, we'll see if Roosevelt could come back and attack that perimeter like they did a couple times in that series. But other than that, St. Francis has done a tremendous job in defending the pass, creating pressure, and their front 3 have been really excellent in the inside running game.
So they are this is interesting here on the kick return here. Dezion Jordan and James Williams are deep. Scott Tumulty, who typically is the deep returner, is actually standing at the 20 here. I think he's expecting the ball, but if it goes long, they have a few returners back there too. They are going to keep it short. It's going to be Dezion Jordan off his helmet and loose. Scott Tumulty there to pick it up at the 8-yard line. See if he can do anything with it. Looking. Nothing there. Nice coverage by the Lakers. The Saints will start at their 10.
Well, that's tough. You could put it there. You haven't been on the kick return team, and that ball was coming fast. I mean, it was coming hard and fast in that wind. Yeah,
the wind was right behind that ball. Yeah,
but I like the decision in their personnel package there because with Tumulty being deep, they're going to kick it out of the end zone. So put them where they dump kicked it before, and hopefully get. And really, he kind of saved the day there to cover the ball and at least get you a couple yards.
How about that kick though? To judge the wind, he puts it right at the 1-yard line.
That's amazing.
It's a nice kick.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I still think if he would have let it go, though, it would have.
Oh yeah.
It would have got through the end zone.
Probably better option there. 5 wide receivers. Expect a little bit of pre-snap motion here with Tumulty with 2:47 to go here in our first quarter. It'll be McLaren from the right side. Sam's going to keep it. Cut off by the defensive end. It's going to be a loss of 2. Nice job by Matt Torres, the junior out of California.
Definitely. Nice play. Held the tackle up and strung the play out. The linebacker and safeties come in to finish the tackle.
Not a lot of yards to be found really by either team. Great job defensively, and they are very, very good. This stout defense, they have only allowed 61 rushing yards per game, which is 6th best in the country at protecting against the run. And a timeout on the field. I don't think St. Francis knew what they wanted to do.
Well, that really helps Roosevelt because as a coach, I'd be thinking about using my timeouts if we hold them here. Get them 3rd and long, use a timeout to force them to punt into the wind. Don't let the quarter run out and give them the wind at their back when they punt. So that may have saved Roosevelt a timeout there.
Yeah, that's why they were so excited about it. You saw a couple players running off, clapping their hands. That's good situational awareness there to know if you're going to stop them and force them to punt, you want to do it now before those last 2 minutes tick off.
And, of course, if they didn't have the right formation or personnel, you need to call a timeout because you can't make a mistake down here, Dick, at the 10-yard line.
Yeah. Especially with the running game that the Lakers bring to Joliet today with that two-headed beast of a running back room and Kevon Johnson and Tyler Tenner. Both teams with 2 first downs here in the first quarter. Sam Tumulty just 1 attempt through the air. Keenan Haley ran it 4 times for 22 yards. He's been the most efficient runner for either team, but he went out with injury a few minutes ago. On the ground, it's Dan McClare inside, stepping up to about the 12. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 in a timeout, like you just said, Coach.
Yep.
Timeout Lakers.
Coach Murray's been coaching for over 40 years.
Oh, wait. Is he pointing St. Fran? Yeah, okay.
No,
he's pointing the wrong way.
There's
yeah.
no way.
Yeah, like what? Okay. Even some of the Lakers players were coming to correct the official on that timeout. Yep, Coach Mike Murray, interim coach for head coach Jared Williamson, going through a pretty tough moment. We'll talk about him coming up in about a minute 54. We'll tell you more about Jared Williamson, who's been in his 11th year as well. Him and Coach Curry both took these programs over in the same year. Jared Williamson a bit different because it was Robert Morris back then, and he actually started that program, if I'm not mistaken, 11 years ago. Won a conference championship, made the playoffs in 2016, and then emerged with Roosevelt before that awkward 2020 season. He was an offensive coordinator at Illinois Wesleyan, a 3-year starting quarterback out at Mayville State, set records for completion in yards and touchdowns. Coach Williamson, who could be watching from his hospital room today, we wish him nothing but the best. He recovers from some injuries.
Such a gentleman. He came and recruited when I was coaching at Joliet Catholic, and such a fine gentleman, and did a great job starting a program. It's kind of difficult because they had to travel up to, Arlington Heights to play from Chicago, and he's just done a fabulous job and put together a great program, great staff. So we just wish him nothing but the best. Our prayers go out to him.
3rd down and 9 for St. Francis. Final 2 minutes of this first quarter. Sam's going to try to do it on his legs, and this defense is just too good. He gets to about the 15. He's only there for a yard and another timeout.
Yep.
You might as well take them all here in this quarter, right?
Great strategy. Yep. So as soon as I saw the wind, I'm like, if you cannot let the quarter run out, and let them pump with the wind at their back. St. Francis. So Roosevelt is saying, hey, we're going to call timeout. We're going to force you to punt into the wind, and they'll get at least one more possession with a shorter field. And what they're doing defensively is in the first quarter, they're daring you to pass. They're just playing man-to-man. They're bringing their safeties up. Like I said, there's one extra guy that you can't block in there. They're doing a good job of cross-keying with the motion. They're not overreacting to the motion. So, but I'll tell you what, I think St. Francis held their own pretty good going into the wind this first.
Yeah, to hold the Lakers to 3 points with that wind.
Yes,
that's huge. But that makes the second quarter even more important. Now that's when you got to make your hay.
That's right.
We'll see what happens here on 4th. They're going to try to get a punt off here. Last time it was blocked and only got back to the 30.
Just like you said earlier, too, no return, man. They're just going to let it hit.
So wherever it ends up.
Yep.
They just got to let them get it off. They just try to they need a good snap here. And you mentioned before, snapping is an adventure right now, too, for Mike Carver, the freshman long snapper for St. Francis.
If they don't have a deep guy, I'd bring my guys in the block. There's no sense covering a kick. There's nobody back there. Bring your guys down tighter so to make sure you don't get someone leaking through there for a block.
Wind sounds like it's picking up here. We got Old Glory south of the end zone here. The play clocks are about to tip over.
Bench just blew
over. The bench here for St. Francis just knocked over. Here we go with the punt. This is going to be an adventure as the wind kicks up. They do not get it off. It's blocked again. It's going to be out of bounds at the 12. Oh. They just can't block the blockers for Roosevelt, and they get their hands on it again.
Well, And look at this from a strategic point here. They have no one deep, so there's no need to run down and cover the kick. Bring everybody in tight, closer to the center, so that you can protect the punter better. Wherever he kicks it, no one's returning it, so you don't need anybody to run down to cover.
You know what? And shame on me for assuming that the Saints were going to hold the Lakers to 3 in the first quarter. There's plenty of time left, and they have it again in the red zone.
Yeah, that was a great series for Roosevelt, using the timeouts, forcing the punt, getting the block. Let's see if our defense can hold hard here.
Nothing but power coming. Oh, they're going to try to throw it again. Wilson lobs it in the end zone, has a man, incomplete, about 2 feet over the head of the intended receiver. The wind may have played a part in that being an incomplete pass.
Yeah, as a receiver with the wind at your back, you got to run through the ball. Believe here he misjudged it a little bit. You could see he tried to, instead of keep running to the corner, he turned around, tried to jump up for the ball. When you got the strong with your back, you got to run through the ball. You almost got to race the ball to the point of reception.
Intended receiver was the 6'3" tight end Jack Young Jr. They're going with that big formation, I formation with Tenner, the tailback. The snap, the turn, the give. Tenner, head down up to the 8-yard line, and 3rd down coming up for the Lakers.
Kings playing big today, Nick. That was another great play. The trip up the running back. He's hard to block, man. He gets off his blocks and he makes plays.
There's the win. That's what it's doing today, blowing benches over. Third down coming up for the Lakers. Oh, look out! Oh, my goodness, the dry erase board is blowing onto the field. That could have hurt somebody. Holy cow. That thing was flying end over end and really could have hurt somebody. Holy smokes.
Wow.
Nice play by Demarion Green, the cornerback, to go get that board.
Yeah, the way he held that board, we thought he might be flying over Crest Hill.
3rd down play. Tenner again, bottled up behind the line of scrimmage, and down he goes, thrown down by the senior T.J. Neal. 4th down. Unbelievable stand by the Saints defense. 40 seconds remain in the quarter.
Well, Roosevelt's coming in with that.
Again? That's the replay. Look at it. It almost blew him over. Look at him. He couldn't stand up. Oh, my God. What is happening out here? It's madness.
A big play by the Saints defense again.
28-yard field goal try coming up from Buccaro again. He only had 1 field goal try coming into the game. This is his 2nd this quarter. Not a gimme. We'll call it 29-yarder. Left hash. Bad snap. Hold is down. That looked like it was blocked and no good. The Saints hold them. The first time this season that the Lakers have not scored from the red zone. The Saints defense coming to play.
Saints defense stopping the run. Special teams making a big play. Once again, the long snap with the wind. It's tough. Watch the ball get blown. That ball got blown to the.
The holder did everything he could. It was
blown to his inside there.
It flew behind his back. The Saints.
There is nothing guaranteed in elements like this.
We got one of the side judges' ball cap flew off his head. No one is safe.
So every possession is so precious in this game.
Every time the ball leaves somebody's hands, it's chaos. 1st down, but thankfully only 5 seconds left in this quarter before they flip. McLaren again, hit behind the line again. Nothing doing, loss of 1. Mercy. The quarter's come to an end. At the end of the first 15 minutes, it was eventful, but it's only 3-0. Roosevelt.
Saints defense with an outstanding first quarter today.
Hey, real quick, we want to send a message here. About a month ago, Lakers head coach Jared Williamson was in a very serious car accident while driving home from their game against Missouri Baptist. He was hit by a drunk driver. He had no insurance. Thankfully, Coach Williamson survived that crash. But he sustained many severe injuries, breaking every rib, several bones in his arms and legs and pelvis. And by the grace of God, his wife and 5 children. It's hard for me to get through. Thankfully, that family still has their dad. He's got a long road ahead of him, and I'm sure it's going to be painful, but thankfully the prognosis is good. As you can see, a GoFundMe has been set up to help the family with their medical bills. The link is there on your screen. I'm going to put the link in the YouTube chat of this broadcast as well. We ask you to donate. From everyone here at St. Francis and the rest of this NAIA football community, we want to wish Coach Williamson a quick and complete recovery. We hope to see him on the sidelines very, very soon. And we'll be back in a minute. Oh, no, we're not. We're ready for football. We're going to go right now. So please help out the Williamson family if you can.
Nick, that was well said. Thank you. And our hearts and prayers go out to the entire Williamson family.
For sure.
All right, here come the Saints. They got 2 receivers to the right. Let's see if they try and run or 3 receivers to the right. See if they try to run the right edge here.
See if they try to throw
yeah,
while they can,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Motion man, looks like Zillinger. They will throw. And incomplete. Even with the win, that one was thrown behind Dezion Jordan, the intended receiver, second down, or make it 3rd down and 10.
With today's conditions, anything thrown to the sidelines toward the flats or the outside part of the field, that wind is going to take it upfield. And that's what happened on that play. They threw the ball out there, it just blew it upfield. And the ball was actually probably pretty well thrown, but look at how it blows it upfield. See that?
Yep. Yeah, anything horizontal, like you mentioned. We watched Coach Curry throwing the ball in pregame, and it was like throwing a curveball out there. Here's McLaren in motion again. Here comes Sam to throw in the pocket, downfield, and overshot James Hartsfield, and incomplete. That was about 3 feet over his head. You never see Sam miss like that, but at least when they punt now, they're going to have a little bit of help.
Even with the wind at your back, it's difficult to judge that ball when you're throwing the ball 15, 20 yards down the field. You have a tendency when you throw it, when you snap off a spiral, it drops, But with this wind, it's just going to keep carrying it. It doesn't give you that arc where you snap it and drop it right in the hole there. It's going to be a challenge, even with the wind, to throw the ball.
Let's see if we can block some of those defenders here. Good snap, and the punt is finally away. Thankfully, a little bit of breathing room for this Saints defense. It'll bounce inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line.
Well, what Roosevelt did there, instead of rushing everybody, they had 3 guys deep to keep the ball. If you have 1 guy deep, it hits, it could roll all the way down to the goal line. So they had 3 guys deep, and that helped a lot as far as getting the punt off because that was 3 less rushers block the punt.
Yep. So was that about a 53-yard punt?
Yeah.
Again, I went to Providence. I don't do math.
You did that good.
Little breathing room.
I went to Joliet Catholic, so I'm right there with you.
By the way, they're playing right now. End of the first quarter, Hilltoppers 7, Celtics 0 in the second round of the IHSA playoffs. First down for Wilson and company. They're definitely going to keep it on the ground now. It's Kevon Johnson. Look at that Saints defense bottle him up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Kevon. And was that Ryan King again? Yep, number 90 for St. Francis has been stuffing the run all game so far.
He's been playing extremely well. Roosevelt hasn't had an answer for the front 3 linemen of St. Francis. They have kept those blockers. They've got good leverage on them and allowing the linebackers to come up and make the tackles.
Johnson again, the tailback here. 4 wide receivers for Luke Wilson. Second down and 10. The give to Johnson. They're keying on him, Coach. They know they got to throw it. Only a gain of 2 that time as he takes a big pop at the 30-yard line. And another Saint a bit slow to get up, though.
Yeah.
That was Nick Mabutis, the freshman who's been an outstanding safety this year, limping back to his safety spot.
Yes. King with another great pay coming down the line of scrimmage. Watch here. See him come straight down the line of scrimmage.
Right at you. Nice hit by Mabutis.
Yeah. Great team defense.
Third down. Roosevelt 43% on third down this year, top 15 in the country. Thrown to the left and incomplete. They tried to throw it, and it goes over the head of Blaze Griffin. Fourth down. Now let's see if Roosevelt can punt it into the wind. We've seen how much of a struggle it was for the brown and gold. Let's see if the Lakers can do it.
Yes. St. Francis played man-to-man there, and why not? Keep everybody in the box to go against the run. It's difficult to complete passes in this situation, so just play some tough man-to-man. You're not going to throw the ball down the field into this win.
And the play that they ran, like you said, was an outside route trying to throw to the sideline, which is even harder than throwing straight into it. Scott Tumulty is back to try to return. Snap is a decent one. Buccaro gets it off. Look at that thing just die at the 41-yard line. That was as decent of a kick as you're going to find, but the wind just knocked it backward. Unbelievable.
That's why I said that you're looking at 2 quarters where you know you got scoring quarters, and then you got to play defense as hard as you can. When
look at that thing.
Saints going into the wind. Look, that's a 10-yard punt.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's about as good as you're going to get.
That's a good job by him, yeah. All right, Saints, another opportunity, but finally in some positive territory thanks to the wind.
Now we get the short field. Let's see how we do with it. See if we can get touchdowns and not field goals.
The running game has not been there for the Saints today either due to that Roosevelt defense. They are phenomenal up front. 1st and 10. Here goes McLaren in motion. And a bad snap, but Tumulty's going to have to do it with his legs. Puts his shoulder down up to the 36-yard line, and a bad snap turns into a 6-yard game because of 22.
That's what he does, you know.
That's what he does.
He knew where the blocking was going to be on that play, so as soon as the bad snap, again, with the wind, he just going to go run right behind where his linemen were. He's supposed to hand that one off, but instead – the running back becomes a lead blocker, and Sam just runs it where the play was supposed to go originally.
And a Laker.
Great heads up on Sam's part.
Yes, it is. A Laker down on the field as well. He is a bit slow to get up. That's Tony Pope, the safety from Alabama. He has an interception. Most of the defensive backs for both of these two teams do have interceptions. 2 of the top 5 teams are taking the ball away. St. Francis with 16 picks as a team. Roosevelt with 14.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why they're leading the conference.
You bet.
1st and 2nd in the conference.
Last week for Roosevelt, a 17-3 win on the road at St. Ambrose. Roosevelt limited Ambrose to 86 yards of total offense, 5 of them rushing. 2nd down and 4 for the Saints. Keenan Haley back into the game. Runs into a wall on his first carry back from injury, only able to gain 1, but it's great to even see 27 on the field right now. That changes their whole offense, I think.
Yeah, they look pretty good running there, too. I didn't see any change in his gait at all. He broke up, bounced out there a little bit, took out a hit. Yeah, he ran pretty well on that.
Yeah.
So hopefully he just had to tape up a little ankle sprain. And bringing him off now.
Keenan Haley are going to have to come off. They better hurry here. 12 on the play clock. 5 wide receivers for Sam Tumulty. Here on 3rd and 3. McLaren motion.
Sam run for this one.
Fakes right, goes left. Right up the hash. Ball is up to the 30-yard line. I think he's got it. I think he's got the 1st down. It depends on the spot, really. To me, it seemed like a first. Oh, they're going to mark it shy. Ooh.
Just about a half-yard shy, it looks like.
4th down and 1, wind at their back. DeJuan Gavin's going to come in. The offense is going to stay on the field.
Down to 15 seconds on the
Yeah, they
play
better
clock.
hurry. You don't want to call a timeout here. They're having a trouble getting the play cards up on the bottom of your screen. 4th and 1 here.
There we go.
They better hurry. 3, 2. They get the snap off. They hand to Dan. He fights. He's got to the 30. No doubt about it. No, he got to the 30 for sure.
Oh, this looks close.
Oh, come on now. Oh, they move it backward. They move the ball back. I think it's going to be a turnover. It really looked like he fell on the 30-yard line. Let's take a look. We're going to have a real good look at it here. Where he comes down is
the balls.
They're going to
not even measuring.
No, they're going to say he didn't reach the 30. It looked like a bit of a shy spot to me, but
it's hard to see where his elbow touched down. with the ball there, if it was just in front of the 30 or not. But
or, another way to look at it, too, is where the ball was when his knee came down, because he did prop up against a couple defenders at the end of the run.
Right here, see his elbow right there? See the hand?
Yeah.
That might be, boy, that was.
Too close. I mean,
you're talking inches there. That could have been, another half yard on the spot.
Well, he definitely, it wasn't a for sure thing. That's for sure. I mean, it was a judgment call, and it gives it back to the Lakers. Now the Saints defense has to come up again. Handoff Tenor into the second level before he's wrapped up by Logan Johnson, the senior. It's a 5-yard gain, and if Roosevelt can do that with the wind in their face, that's exactly what they need.
Well, they're bringing everybody inside. They're going tight formation, running downhill.
I was telling you before, I'm really kind of disappointed that Mother Nature decided to show up today, because we've had some pretty nice weather, and I really would enjoy watching these two teams play against each other and not have to worry about the wind, but that's how it goes. Kevon Johnson outside. Flag comes in, a big run up to the 49, but there is another flag behind the offense.
Yeah, it looked like we had a holding here on the edge here. So that's going to bring this one back.
That's another big run from Roosevelt, taken back because of penalty.
Yeah, it's a big run, but he may have opened that hole by the holding. May have created the big run there. Yeah. It's hard on the edge when you start to lose your guy not to grab on, and they're going to see it. Let's look right here. See, look at the right there.
Oh,
he grabbed. Was that Strosha?
Yeah, I think it was Holman. Yeah,
Holman.
I think Cam Holman. Just that instant, that moment is enough to open up the hole for Johnson.
Pulled him by the shoulder strap. They're going to see that every time.
We're going to march off 10 yards after holding, so it turns a first down at midfield to a second down and 14 for Roosevelt.
Second down and 14 may be second down and 40 when you're going into the wind.
Well, you also got two running backs who can break one at any moment.
Yep.
Johnson's going to be the lone tailback. 3 wide receivers. Motion man, left is Tran. Give to Johnson. Tough sledding for every single ball carrier today. He goes backward a yard. Third down and 15 now.
That's difficult. When you're in that formation, you got a single back and you got 2 wideouts. Like I said, St. Francis is not concerned at all about the passing game. So you have less people to block now by spreading them out. And St. Francis is staying real tight with their 8 men front and their 3-5. And again, they're doing a great job up front with their defensive line controlling the offensive linemen at Roosevelt.
44 yards of rushing offense for Roosevelt, 46 for St. Francis. Roosevelt has been able to complete a couple of passes. They're going to throw it again. Nice little check down, pretty much an extended run here for Johnson. Big hit at the 29-yard line, wrapped up by Tumulty. Does not get back to the original line of scrimmage. And a 4th down and 10 for Roosevelt. What a collision.
I'll tell you what, defense flying all over the place for St. Francis, aren't they? Coming up, making plays.
Scott Tumulty there, the leading tackler for St. Francis with 59 coming into the game. Who put that big hit on him, though, at the end of the run? Let's take a look.
Snuck him out of the backfield. Block it down. Wow.
Jalen Cooper laying the wood at the end of the play. 4th down, punt unit on.
That may be a play we'll see again later, that little short pass to Kevon.
They do not get to it. The punt does get off, and it goes straight out of bounds at the 42. And again, it's as good as you're going to get, about an 11-yard punt.
Certainly is.
Some more extracurriculars. You know you're going to get that today. Some jawing back and forth.
Yeah, this kind of day is frustrating, you know?
Yeah, it's super frustrating. It just makes it so hard to play football.
Yeah, that wind could beat you up. But I'll tell you what, I like what the Saints are doing. They're trying to utilize their passing game with the wind, but again, their bread and butter is running the ball. And you get Tumulty and now having Haley back in the game. It's great to see our 1-2 punch. Let's see if they can get something going and score here right before half.
Haley to the right of Tumulty here on 1st down. McLaren in motion.
Misdirection.
Low snap, and again, muff snap. Sam's in trouble. Throws it into the Roosevelt bench to save the down. golly, every time the ball leaves somebody's hands, whether it's a pass or a punt or a snap, it is trouble.
I mean, sometimes you may even think about getting under center.
Just thinking that.
You know, with the way the wind's blowing today.
And there goes another one of the play cards. Oh, no. You need that.
Let's hope that's a pass play card.
Oh, my goodness. Look at everything blow.
There
goes the play card down the stadium, and we got water bottles and coolers and we got whiteboards.
I think the play card's in Crest Hill now.
There, right against the fence. Unbelievable what's happening right now. Focus. That's a great word used by that fan right there. You need to focus.
All this distractions. You can't let it get to you. You got to focus.
Snap is good this time. They try McLaren on the end around, and they go backward 10 yards. St. Francis can't do anything in the run game either today.
You're seeing two really good defenses playing in these elements. It just it really shows how good the defenses are, because they displayed more in this situation against the run.
And the bench is blown over again. Third down. And 5, 10, 17 yards. They got to go through the air here. Empty backfield, McLaren in motion again. Four-man rush. They're going to go deep. Looking long, it is incomplete. They had Liam Eldridge. That's as good a ball as you're going to find. Would have loved to see Liam come up with that one, but incomplete. Yep. Brings up fourth down.
It's, again, the receivers judging the wind. They got to run
That's
through
so
that ball. You know, you just normally normally the ball would have been right where he anticipated it to be, but with the wind, you just got to know it's going to go those extra few yards. See if he keeps running through it. Yeah,
the ball usually goes on a straight line.
Yeah,
it doesn't today. It is drifting left or right depending on which angle they're throwing it at. It's a hard task for a receiver downfield, even with the wind. Oh my Lord! All right, another punt here from Madej. Punters have been busy. Good snap. The punt is away. High, good soaring punt. Get out of bounds. I think it did. Oh, my goodness. They're going to mark it at the 2-yard line. Brian Madej with a 48-yard punt inside the 2-yard line. Well done, 17.
Played a first half so far with that punt. We talked about how the special teams will be big with the field positioning. That was huge.
Well, now if you're the Saints, you're looking for 2 here, right?
You're looking, I'll tell you what, worst case scenario, you're hoping they're kicking out of their end zone.
Yeah.
3 and out here is our goal here. What a great punt. Just when we needed it.
DB's got to be disciplined here. We saw that they are willing to throw it to the running back out of the backfield. I formation, tenor the tail. He's standing 8 yards deep in his end zone.
3 tight ends.
Scott Tumblety, the safety, within 5 yards. Bottled up at the point of attack. They'll give him a yard on the play. Second down. Up to the 3.
The thing, too, you're concerned about with your tailback being 7, 8 yards from the line of he's got to run 8 yards to get to the line of scrimmage. Like you mentioned, we could, it's a good chance to get a safety if you get any kind of penetration.
Second down and 9 after the 10 or 1 yard carry. He's still 5 yards deep in his end zone at the tailback position. Scott Tumblety standing at the 10 is the deep man. They give to Tenor again, looking to the outside. A little bit of breathing room before he's picked up and pushed backward by Mike Whitney.
The Saints are basically in a 10-man front. They got 10 men within 4 or 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
And they still picked up 2 yards on the play.
I tell you, our defensive line the King is having one heck of a game today.
Another third down here from the shadows of the swaying goalposts. The wind seems like it's picking up even more right now. Tenor again, the tailback in his own end zone. The give. Breaks free and might be enough for the first down. He will be shy It'll be 4th down and 2. I mean,
well,
I don't know. Do you go? Do you try to get another 10-yard punt? With the way they're running the ball, that's actually a pretty good sign, but they are going to send the special teamers down. I'm kind of surprised, honestly.
Yeah, maybe try and get the first down here. And
too risky, yeah.
Yeah, but you're only going to give them.
Yeah, I know. There's no good answer.
They'll be at the 20 instead of the 10, basically.
There is no good answer.
You know, and on that play, too, once he broke through, you got a guy like Scott Tumulty playing safety. He's the eraser. Nothing's going to get by him. He comes up and helps make a great tackle on that play.
The snap is low, sidewinder, and it only gets out to the 25.
There's a flag over there, too, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, toward the Roosevelt bench. A flag did come out. What do you think that would be?
I hope St. Francis wasn't offsides on this punt here. He were. Nope.
No. Okay, they say Saints football. Whew, don't scare me like that.
First thing I thought, it's a sideline warning, I think.
Let's get the official call here.
Gotta punch it in. Let's go.
A sideline warning.
I think the wind is blowing the players on the field over there.
You know what? Yeah, we almost did.
When I saw the line judge throw that, I was like, oh, no.
It was a sideline warning. Nothing to see here. 5.5 to go, first half. 3-0. Roosevelt. You need a first down here.
Would they only gain like 7 yards on that, 10 yards on that punt?
Yep.
Great field position for us here.
See if this offense can make anything happen. Haley reverse to Jordan. He's got some room. Here's Dezion to the outside, to the 15, down to the 11-yard line, and a huge first down for St. Francis. What a play call from Matt McCarthy.
Great call. You run misdirection. You take motion. You take the player out. He follows the motion. The man is playing a man-to-man, and then you don't account for your receiver as a running back, and he comes back around on the reverse. Well set up. Look at number 11 take all that defense with him.
Dezion
Jordan comes around with a great run.
His first carry of the season. Now they're just having trouble getting lined up here on first down and 10 from the 11. Wind picks up again here at Memorial Stadium. Haley on the ground, inside run. Only about a yard or two there. Nice stop again. We're calling Benny Harris's name quite a bit too, the junior from Danville, second leading tackler for the Lakers.
Doing well. You know, with this wind too, it's difficult to hear.
Yeah.
That wind blowing by those ear holes on your helmet. So, you know, Sam trying to get guys lined up, they're probably having a difficult time hearing the play. And
you'll actually see guys cover up their ears trying to hear better to muffle the sound you just described.
Right.
Yeah.
They may even come into more like a little sugar huddle near the line of scrimmage just so they can hear the plays.
2nd down and 8. Inside the 10 for the first time today are the Saints. Fakes right. Sam's going to keep it. He runs into a linebacker. Oh, and he's slammed there. Yep, there comes the flag. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct, excessive aggressiveness there. What's the word I'm looking for?
Unnecessary
roughness. Thank you.
And that'll be an automatic first down, too, I think.
And it was a no-brainer. He had him stopped, and he picked him up and slammed him to the ground. And 10 years ago, not a penalty, but you got to know the game you're playing. That's a stop. You got to pull up right there and avoid that slam.
Exactly, and I also think the whistle blew in there, stop of forward progress.
Yeah.
So that might have happened after the whistle, too.
Ozell Richardson, the junior defensive tackle, with a big penalty for Roosevelt. And they made it easy on the referee. It was right in front of him.
Right.
First and goal for the Saints. They're a pretty good red zone team in their own right. 73%, 8th in the nation, 81% scoring rate. They are a touchdown machine inside the red zone too, but they haven't met a rushing defense in the conference like the Lakers. Oh, fumble on the snap, but Sam picks it up. No room there. He lost a yard.
It's when the timing's broken up like that, it's hard. That play is a set quarterback power. You got Keenan as the lead blocker, and once that timing is off, here comes the backside of the defense to clean it up. There's no one there to block number 11, so he's able to come clean. and make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line after the play. No gainer on that one. Haley to the right of Tumulty. Tight ends left. Sam's going to keep it. It's a foot race to the outside. He was cut off, tried to cut it in up the hash marks. No gain on that play. This is the first defense we've seen chase Sam Tumulty down that far off the line of scrimmage.
They are quick.
They are fast.
Their secondary and linebackers read that well. You know, Saints still working at misdirection, which I think they need to do. But boy, they're really keying on number 22 today.
You like to not have to kick a field goal here. If you do, you want it from the middle of the field, so I expect they'll run left if they're going to run it at all. 3 wide receivers off that way. Haley is to the right. Here's Tumulty. He's going to pull. He's going to throw it into the end zone. Batted away. He was looking for Dan Getch, but Jalen Perkins knocked it away. He is their best defensive back. He's got 5 interceptions this season, able to knock that one down. And now Brian Madej is going to have to come out and try to punch this one through to tie the game.
Boy, that was a nice play fake by Sam and Keenan, too. Great play action. Froze the linebackers, but again, playing man-to-man, was short field to defend and was able to get into the passing lane and knock that ball away.
Hold your breath here, Saints fans. 25-yarder. Madej's 3 for 5 on the year. Good snap, holds down, kick, has plenty of leg, and he fires it right through. We're tied. This is the most exciting 3-3 game that we've been a part of for a long time.
Well, it's kind of what we thought it was going to be, right, Nick?
No doubt. Brian Madej, he actually earned that kick himself. Remember his punt? He put it inside the 2, got the field position himself, and was able to execute on the field goal.
Special teams play so big today, and the Saints have come through. And Roosevelt too had a couple block kicks, but defenses held strong and forced field goals. What do we have, about 3 or 4 fourth down conversions that were not successful? So it's definitely a defensive battle today, and the Saints now use their timeouts. Come down, you got 2 timeouts left, pin them down there, use your timeouts, force them to kick into the win, maybe another score before half.
Absolutely, plenty of time, 2:15 to go, and they did have to burn a timeout earlier, the Saints did, and thankfully they're not even going to try to mess around with the tee on the ball by itself. Dezion Jordan will come and hold it for Madej. See how much leg he puts into this one. How much does he want to give those return men a chance? Squib kick it, I say,
Yeah.
Let him try to field it.
He may put this one on Jefferson Street.
He might. He did. He kicked it hard, kicked it low. It's going to skip. And it goes into the end zone. Oh, flag. Yep, okay.
It went out of bounds.
Oh, I thought that went into the end zone.
Must have gone out of bounds. That is the last thing you want.
Yeah, now they come out to the 35. Ouch. Just kick it right down the middle if you're going to do that.
I'm just surprised they just don't kick it up in the air and let the wind take it. It would go into the end zone. You're looking at 25. But I still would utilize my timeouts here and see if we can force them to punt into the wind. The way the kicking game's gone and you could get some big plays off your special teams.
The scoring drive took 2:09, 6 plays, 17 yards for the field goal for Brian Madej, his 4th of the season. And they're going to blow this play dead before it starts. Hey, while we got a second, we're all nice and comfy up here in the press box. We got to give a shout out to Derek and Gabe and Ed out there. They're the camera operators braving the wind and the cold today. It started at 70 degrees today, but it's, I think, dropped into the 50s at this point. Now, Jessica, I don't know, typically she's outside operating the camera too, but she must know somebody in the booth. She got the camera up in the control booth.
Well, I'll tell you what, those guys are the MVP today, aren't they?
No doubt about it. First down for the Lakers, on the ground to Johnson. He cuts it up the hash, and there's Scott Tumulty to minimize the damage. Gain of 3.
So good.
So good.
You put, being at that safety position with no threat of the pass, And him playing downhill, it's like having another linebacker in the defense. There's the timeout Saints are using.
Looks like they will have I thought they used a timeout. It says
they got one left.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm looking up on the scoreboard. It says 2. Oh, no. Okay. I was looking at the wrong number. Again, that's my Pravi education coming up. Speaking of them, let's take another look. By the way, I am a Providence graduate, and next to me is the longtime head coach of the Joliet Catholic Hilltoppers. And if you're not from Illinois, 2 of the top high school football programs in the state, and they are playing in the second round of the high school football playoffs here. Let's see if we have an updated score. Let's go Celtics. Come on. Let's see what we got here. Halftime, it was 7-3 JCA.
Wow.
Holding on.
Having a very similar game.
They got more points here than they. Although JCA with that double wing, they're built for this. See, JCA, he's been there for 20 years, 6 state titles. I watched a football game once in high school. But go Providence. We're rooting for you up here, all right? I know you lost to the Hilltoppers a few weeks ago, but you're going to get them here in the playoffs.
Well, Coach Jake Jaworski will have those Hilltoppers ready to come out the second half and play well.
Here we go on second down. Johnson, a big hit from Tumulty again after just 3 yards.
Speaking of Hilltoppers,
here's one of them. Yep.
He looks different in green.
Yes, he does. Former Hilltop running back Kevon Johnson picks up 3 and third down.
Again,
the clock stops.
Tumulty.
Go ahead.
No, Tumulty's just such a great player from that position here. Boom! Look at that.
Kevon Johnson makes anyone else miss. Tumulty is so solid and fundamentally sound. So timeout called by the Saints again here on third down, looking to get the ball one more time before halftime.
And Scott's got to love this. Doesn't have to worry about the pass, man. He's just playing downhill wide open.
And that was one of the adjustments they made really early in the year. They had Scott playing a traditional safety, but after that, the first 2 games against St. Francis, Indiana, and Marion, they kind of shifted him to more of a rover situation. You remember Coach explaining all that?
Yes, it's great, too, because he is like the quarterback in the defense back there. And the thing is he reads so well, and he's so quick. Free him up. Let him make plays like that. No matter what happens up front, I call him the eraser because nothing's going to get by him. If someone breaks through up front, they're not going to get by Tumulty.
Third down and 4. Here's a big play for Roosevelt, and they got their 2 big running backs in. It'll be Tenor to Wilson's right, Kevon Johnson to his left. Play action, they want to throw it. They check it down, it's caught and taken down behind the line of scrimmage. 4th down, and what was that at the end of the play?
How about that play by Logan?
Huge tackle. They tried to go with that running back out of the backfield again, but like you said, Logan Johnson made the stop.
He locked right on him right away. It's the same play they ran earlier in the first quarter.
Great job by the coaches using those timeouts. The Saints will get another crack at it with the wind at their back. 17 on the play clock, so they'll kick this off with about 1:20 on the game clock.
They'll probably get this ball around the 50, 45-50 with the way the wind's blowing.
Line of scrimmage is the 39. We'll see where this – oh, it's a fake. They throw it. Incomplete. Oh, they had it wide open. An interesting play call. They had their tight end, 85, wide open. It was Jack Young Jr., but the pass went right into the turf. Oh,
I like the
why
idea,
not?
like the idea of the fake because you're not going to get much on the punt, and that was close. But again, it's tough with the wind. Now you got a punter throwing the ball, and it's tough with that wind.
Yeah.
But he was wide open.
Oh, yeah, they're going to want that one back. They had it. That was wide open, and it would have been a first down. What a play call. What do you have to lose? 5 yards?
Yeah, exactly.
Saints take over. Bucks 17 left to go, but no timeouts. Sam Tumulty is 0 for 6 throwing the football. He's got an empty backfield now. Who's going to be in motion? It's going to be McLaren. Another muffed snap. The ball's loose. The Lakers are going to pick it up. That is the 3rd or 4th time that Sam hasn't caught the snap in a shotgun.
Like we said earlier, with the wind, it affects everything. Even the shotgun snap or field goal snap or punt snap. It's That ball's blowing all over the place, and it comes out like a knuckleball. Yeah. Up.
It looked like Dan almost knocked it out of his hands there,
Yes.
too, inadvertently.
Yep.
Oh, man, nothing going right for anybody. Trick plays, even if it's a good call thrown into the ground. You got fumbles. You got snaps that are errant. I mean, the wind is making for some ugly football here. Everyone trying their best. Cheerleaders having a good time, though. First down for Roosevelt. You just take a knee at this point? I mean, Wilson's going to try to throw it to the sideline. It's complete. Hey, how about it?
Is that the first one? No, second pass completed.
That's actually their fifth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're 4 for 7 for just 38 yards. A timeout called by the Lakers, their last timeout. See, one more time. They're trying to take what they can get. Nice little pass to the outside for Tran. Alex Tran, the sophomore from Bolingbrook. 1:02 left to go. All the timeouts have been burnt. It'll be second down, I believe. I think they flipped it over to third down on the indicator on the far sideline, but I thought that was just their first play. Yep, it should be second down and 5 coming up. Unless the wind blew it. They correct it there on the other side. See the quarterback, Luke Wilson, number 8, a junior from California. 57% through the air, 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. It's his first year as the starter for the Lakers. He's been doing a fine job. Here we go on 2nd and 5. No timeouts remaining. They're going to reverse it left. A first down. Looking to get out of bounds, and he does inside the 40-yard line. The clock is going to tick, and I imagine they're going to hurry here. It's the longest run of the game from either team, I believe. About 13, 14 yards. First down, Lakers. Clock stopped as they went out of bounds. Defense needs to step up one more time here. First down. Tran motions right here for the Lakers. Wilson to throw it. Here comes pressure. Steps up. A flag comes in. He runs out of bounds. And I think that's going to be another holding penalty on Roosevelt. Let's get the official call from our referee. Another second holding call on the Lakers here today. Their 4th penalty. St. Francis does not have a penalty against them today. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, they're right there. Another hold for sure, no doubt about that one. 49 seconds to go. The clock will start on the whistle. It is now 1st and 20. And they will just take a knee here to end our half. Mercy, what a half. 2 of the best rushing defenses, or offenses I should say, meeting here today, but the wind having a huge factor on how this game is being played. Only 3 points available for either team. See Coach Curry down there ready to take the team into the halftime locker room. We are keeping tabs on that St. Xavier game as well, because that is the next opponent for St. Francis.
You look fabulous.
Oh, you look fabulous. Everyone looks fabulous. It is halftime here at Joliet Memorial Stadium. Only 3s on the board. It is 3-3 against the Lakers. We'll take our halftime break. We'll be back in just a few minutes with some numbers in our second half on the USF Sports TV network.
How is it down here? A little breezy. Yeah. A little bit.
Probably in the other bag, yeah, I bet it is. There's the cable for power. We're running a power cable, I guess. So. You do? Okay. All right, I'll let. Okay. Because it sounded like you kept saying you were losing signal. I thought I just didn't know. Oh, you're losing signal and stuff?
Just the brightness. That one time that used the iris.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's a signal.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
hold off.
alright. Are we going back on at 5? Get ready in 5 minutes.
Yeah, get ready at 5.
Everything else?
It looks really good. I saw this one in the camera. I was watching.
Oh, you were? I can't. I'm like literally fighting the like shot down there. So you gonna be on campus?
Now it's well, it's that.
Yeah, well, I love my favorite hat.
Tell me. It's on my end. I gotta get you the headset. Oh, Lordy, Lord. 50-50 raffle. And the winning ticket is 977-2886. 977-2886. If you have that ticket, please come up to the press box. I'll give you one more time. 977-2886. Time for our final raffle of the 2022 football season. We're giving away a soundbar.
Well, I sent one of the manager girls. Thank you, though.
First ticket is the soundbar, and that goes to Linda Wilson from Illinois. Linda Wilson, the winner of soundbar. She's in attendance. She can come on and pick that up in the press box. Our second prize is the Notre Dame sideline pullover hoodie, and that goes to Jeff Posey. Jeff Posey is the winner of the Notre Dame sideline pullover hoodie.
A field goal apiece. We're tied at 3 here at halftime between the Saints and the Lakers. St. Francis is 6-2, trying to maintain that undefeated conference record and set up a date with St. Xavier next week. Roosevelt hoping to do their best to get a co-championship if they can maintain their 4-1 record right now. Both teams trying to run the ball. or make that Roosevelt slightly more successful, gaining a few more yards, having a bit more time of possession. But as you look down the box score here, Coach, I'm not sure anything really pops off besides the score being 3-3.
No, I think the one stat that sticks out is 20-mile-an-hour winds gusting up to 50.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of been the story of the first half, don't you think?
The Saints and the Lakers are tied, but Mother Nature is definitely winning the game right now. There's no doubt about that. The sun is out. At least we could say something like that. Maybe that'll put a little juice into this game, but it's exhausting. You and I both just kind of stepped outside just to take a little bit of a breather and stretch our legs a little bit, and it's hard to stand up. I wish these bleachers would have came with seat belts for these people because they're just getting blown around.
It is. It's just the wind just beats you.
Around.
It is. It's just the wind just beats you, and the adjustments the teams are making, though, it's been kind of interesting to me watching how they're running the ball, how they're utilizing their formations. Everybody's playing man-to-man because they're not so concerned with having help over the top, and they're adding the safety to the line of scrimmage to stop the run. The kicking game, snapping the ball, whether it's a shotgun snap or a punt snap or a field goal, all these things become very, very important, things that you may take for granted throughout the course of a game. Every type of skill has to be full focus, and it creates it creates a little tightness, a little tension. But if they just loosen up, play your game, These running backs are good. If we just get we just give Sam a little crease, he's going to get a big play for us here.
And actually, before kickoff, if you take a look down on the St. Francis sideline, you'll see Matt Knutson in the center, Sam Tumblety, and Liam Eldridge just practicing the snap.
Yeah.
We're down just to the left of your screen on the bottom. Knutson playing center. I'm not sure he played much center this season. He may not have too much experience, and coming in on a windy day like this could be difficult, but they're just going to keep repping that until it's time for them to get on the field. Here we go. Madej puts his foot into it, skips it against the ground, as decent a kick as you're going to get. Right into the return man's hands at about the 27-yard line. The return gets up to the 38. That's where they'll mark it.
That was good coverage, and that's about as good as you can do. We used to call that a hard mat kick. That's on the ground down the middle of the field, and sometimes that ball can take some crazy bounces, and you get a possibility of a turnover there. But I thought the excellent coverage. They saw how they bunched the coverage people close together to the hashes, and were able just as good as you could do with these conditions.
And Roosevelt not taking any kind of chances. It looks like with even snapping the ball in a shotgun formation. They're going to put Luke Wilson under center here with a power I formation here. First down, and it goes to Johnson. He leaps over a defender and gets to the outside for a pickup of about 8 before Nick Mabutis pushes him out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a good point you just brought up, Nick. The quarterback going under center, that takes away any of that, the wind blowing the longer snap. I formation, they're going off to the short side of the field. This is interesting to see if they'll continue to pound it into the boundary here. Good blocking on the edge. It was kind of a stretch play, a little zone play to the outside. Come back and they're in the exact same formation.
And the wind just blows the ball off the line of scrimmage. Ryan King picks it up, and they're going to reset the play clock. There we go. Center gets his hand on it. Another I formation. Same play, stretching right side to Johnson, but here comes the help from Nicholson. And I don't think he got there. It's going to be third down, I believe.
Good job by Nicholson, our corner, coming up off of that play.
The flag comes in. I think we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct here, Coach. Over by the Roosevelt bench.
Wow.
It is. I didn't see what happened, but that's going to be the 5th penalty on Roosevelt.
That's a great break for the Saints. Big mistake by Roosevelt.
You can see the jerseys and shirts and leaves blowing across the field. Again, wind going end zone to end zone from right to left across your screen, so it'll be at the back of Roosevelt. I'm a little nervous for those uprights.
Wow. I mean, they've gone from like third and 3 to now third and about 18 yards.
Yeah, it should be 3rd and 2 right now.
Yeah.
Again, I formation, same formation with 2 receivers left. Now they're going to run it to that bigger side, but they keep it in the middle with Kevon Johnson. Only a yard to be had. They do have the win there on 3rd down and long like that. I'm surprised they kept it, with an inside run. You're not going to get many opportunities to have the win at your back, and I'm not saying that's easy. As you see the flag on top of the goalpost, just been horizontal all game.
No, Roosevelt being very conservative here in that first series. Again, like I said, the last thing you want to do is make any kind of mistakes in a game like this that could turn it around.
Yep.
But that personal foul penalty was huge.
Scott Tumblety will try to return one here as Baccaro, and there goes the snap. It gets behind him. He's going to down it inside the 10. A huge break for St. Francis.
How about that?
Unbelievable. They'll have it 1st and goal. We said the snaps have been increasingly difficult today, whether it's a shotgun, whether it's a punt snap, whatever it is. Anytime a ball leaves somebody's hands, it has been an adventure, and it happened to Roosevelt on that play. No snap is safe from this win today.
He might have had time to pick that ball up and kick it. I didn't think he needed to fall down there. So to our benefit, him going down to a knee there made the ball dead. And St. Francis has a short. Whoever think you say you have a short field going into the win.
Exactly. This is a huge opportunity for the Saints. Huge opportunity. I was hoping I might see Sam under center here, but he's going to be in the shotgun. Dan McLaren on his left hip. We're going to keep an eye out for Keenan Haley. Just get it into Sam's hands here. Zillinger motion. It gets to not an easy one, but Dan on the end around, looking to cut it up. He gets to about the 6. He picks up 4.
Nice play. They come right back to that little misdirection play. Motion left. Little cross handoff coming to the right. Sam faking to the left. It's
and an injury timeout again. A Laker on the ground as we watch this play one more time.
As you see, there's the motion. Now here he comes, a little outside play. You see the lineman pulling out front. Nice misdirection play there. Again, great pursuit by the Roosevelt defense. But St. Francis is doing a good job with that misdirection in their running game.
Now, usually this is the Sam Tumulty show when they run the ball. And I'm looking at, I got 20, 45, 59 over. Well, that's, well, here. Yeah, Tumulty's still, he's got 10 carries, but 7, 8. He's less than half, and usually he's about 75, 80% of the carries, but he's under 50% of the carries today.
Yeah, it looked like they were really keying off him early in the game. I wouldn't be surprised to see him carry the ball down here, though, in the red zone.
He's been handing it off more than he hasn't, and that is rare. We'll see if they use that to their advantage.
I really like to see him going to their left here. Be nice to see Sam run off the left. They got the 2 receivers wide. It looks like they got leverage to the left side. Well, motion. Here he goes.
They are going to go that side, but they took one of the receivers away. Sam's going to look for the edge, and it is shut down hard at the 5-yard line. Maybe a yard, but my goodness, that Lakers defense has the speed. Cortez Draper again, number 23, tracked him down at the boundary.
I tell you what, you talk about, when you talk about Scott Tumulty, what a great tackler he is. The safeties here for Roosevelt are excellent tacklers, too. Watch the play here by number 23.
Dan Getch.
Right there, get off the block and makes a play.
And Dan Getch, a very solid blocker, but unable to corral Draper. 3rd down and goal from the 5. 2 opportunities here to punch it in for the Saints.
I agree with you. I think this is an area where you go for it on 4th down.
Hard count, and a flag comes out. The first penalty on the Saints couldn't have come at a worse time. Oh, but a timeout.
Timeout.
Oh, thank you. I thought there was a penalty there on the snap with the whistle, but I think Coach Curry and company know how important these next play or 2 can be in this game.
Yeah, there's something they didn't like with Roosevelt's defense. I feel they've called a timeout here. Who knows when you can get down here into the wind again, Yeah, the Roosevelt rush defense is nothing to mess with either. They've been holding opponents to just 2.3 yards per carry all year long. They have been stout not only against the pass, but especially against the run. 2.3 yards per carry, just 489 total rushing yards against them. Just 61 yards per game on the ground against that Roosevelt defense. As you take a look inside the huddle and up at the flag, which has been just like that all game long. It is a windy day, and Coach, you've coached in this stadium for 2 decades plus, and we haven't seen quite a day like this in a long time. Yeah, I started out as 79 as an assistant here. I don't ever remember it this windy. This is
interesting formation here. McLaren the left hip of Tumulty. Williams motions. They're going to throw it into the end zone. It is incomplete out of the back. I think they know they have one more play here as they go for Hartsfield, or they won't. Here comes Brian Madej to kick into the wind. Now, it's a short one, but we've seen shotgun snaps be blown off, of course.
We saw him at halftime working very hard down here, kicking into the wind. So he's had a lot of reps and preparation before the start of the second half here.
Biggest kick of the season for Brian Madej, and it's not an easy one. Into a stiff win from the left hash. A good snap. Maffey's hold is down. The kick is long enough, and he curls it inside the upright. The Saints take the lead on another Madej field goal into the wind, and that is a huge one for USF.
Boy, he played the wind nice on that one, didn't he?
He played the draw, just like your golf shot.
Yeah, just like his wedge going in there. It was beautiful. That's a big play. To get the ball down there inside the 20 and score here with the going into the wind, that's huge.
Yep. Brian Madej has been the most effective player on the field for both teams in the punt game, and now with 6 points, for the Saints off his right foot.
He certainly has been, Nick, and that's the thing we talked about, how important the special teams are going to play in today's game. And the Saints, they've done a great job in their kicking part of the game. And, they had a kick block too earlier, so it's a big part of what they're doing today in this kicking game. And right now, another kickoff, which is an adventure. We'll see if he hits it hard on the ground again. And
that injury for Roosevelt that you just saw, not insignificant. That was number 2, Clarence Davis, their senior safety. He was a starter, getting injured on that extra point. Look at the bags behind and the coats behind the official just blowing on the track. Unreal. Right here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
all the pylons are down. There's no markings.
If it's not strapped down, it's moving.
They got their coverage in tight. I expect a hard one on the ground again, up the middle.
Here's the kick from Brian. Exactly that. Look at that hold in the air. And best that Roosevelt can do is just cover it up at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, that's great for St. Francis to get the kick down to the inside the 30.
Now down 3, the Lakers come out with a different philosophy, or are they going to keep pounding it with Johnson and Tenner?
Well, if it wasn't for the penalty, they started to move the ball pretty good. They may mix it up. As we talked earlier, though, it's just as difficult sometimes to throw with the wind to judge the ball.
When it's this strong, absolutely.
Now they're shotgun now with 3 receivers. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left here.
And you got 3 safeties deep for St. Francis. Snap back to Wilson. They're going to keep it on the ground for Johnson. Met by T.J. Neal after a gain of 2. T.J. Neal, one of the seniors for St. Francis, being honored on this senior day, 1 of 10. The entire linebacker corps is graduating. T.J. along with Logan Johnson and Mike Whitney, and another Saint on the ground with an injury today. And I think that's the man we were talking about.
Wow.
It's a big loss. T.J.'s had a heck of a last couple of weeks. He's 44 tackles, which is 3rd on the team. He's got 11 tackles for a loss, which is the leader for the Saints defense. 5 sacks as well, which is tied for the lead. He has been an impact player for this Saints defense, stopping the run and getting into the backfield.
Certainly has. He's one of the best blitzers that I've seen, too. Tremendous timing on his blitzes, and he can do everything on defense. That time it looked like Roosevelt was trying to use formation to spread out St. Francis's defense, maybe take some of the linebackers or safety out of the box there to try and open up things in the running game. But again, St. Francis's defensive line has been dominant all day, and they continue to be here in the second half.
TJ very slow here, taking his time. And if he can't go, that's a big loss for that Saints defense. The wind continues to howl, and just the gusts right now, it's got to be 60 miles an hour. Some of the Saints players, the helmets that are on the ground are blowing away. Brian Madej doing a little housework here on the track, trying to keep the equipment from blowing down the track.
It's remarkable.
Yep. All right, it was a 2-yard pickup. We'll keep an eye out for number 28, T.J. Neal. He's looking for his helmet. Here we go. Luke Wilson in the shotgun here for the first time in a while. Not a clean snap, but he has it. He's looking to throw downfield. All covered. Rolls right. Throws under pressure. It is almost completed, but out of bounds. I think even if he would have caught it, he might have been out of bounds. It was Jarrell Calhoun, their second leading receiver, the target.
Looked like they ran a 2-man route over there is all. We had 3 defenders covering him on that one.
That was an interception waiting to happen.
Yeah, as you can see here, I think they only ran 2 receivers on this route, two crossing routes.
Not too many plays end in an incomplete when a quarterback just lofts it up like that against this Saints defense.
3 defenders on him.
He's lucky. St. Xavier up by 10 in their game up on the south side, 24-14 against St. Ambrose. 3rd down and 8 here for Roosevelt. Here comes the pressure from the Saints. Wilson throws to the outside. It's complete and a first down. It's a big one for the Lakers.
Well, he just got that off in time. As you stated, Nick, the blitz came. They were great pressure, but he had great timing. As you know, he threw that ball before the defender even hooked up. Look at the pressure here. Coming off the edge, steps in, he makes a great throw in the face of pressure. Threw it before the receiver even made his break, right on time.
Love that third down call, though, for the defense.
I tell you, why not? I mean, it's a tough day to throw. Bring the pressure. Make it even tougher.
Just the third first down of the game for the Lakers. Wilson wants to throw it again. More pressure, steps up. He's going to scramble right. He's got a little room. Scampers out of bounds at the 45. He picks up just 4.
That's the danger of playing man-to-man. You run everybody off, that quarterback can sneak out of there. It can turn into a big play. Saints did a good job for getting it to a 4-yard gain. That's something to look for in this passing game. See there, a little opening, and everybody's run off. The quarterback's got some room to run.
Terrence Nicholson runs him out of bounds. 2nd down and 6 here at the Laker 45. Cloud cover comes back in over Memorial Stadium. 2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Wilson in that shotgun again. He's 6 for 10 through the air for 54 yards. It's on the ground. No indication yet.
Yeah, looks like
there it is. The Saints with the first takeaway. The Saints now plus 11 in the turnover category. It's Michael Johnson coming up with the ball.
I know we sound like a broken record, but again, the snap and the exchange, it's just, the timings are just not in the quarterback halfback exchange.
The Saints are just taking this third quarter away from Roosevelt.
Yes. How important is that?
Who's going to dunk it here on the turnover hoop? Michael Johnson with the 2-handed slam. Motion man is Zillinger. It's McLaren again, sees a hole, but he's hit right away after a gain of just 1 or 2. I think that was Draper again. McLaren doing his best here, getting the most minutes he's seen all season with the injury to Haley. But there's not been a lot of room for him.
Let's see if we could take advantage of the mistakes that Roosevelt's made in this third quarter, giving St. Francis excellent field position going into the wind.
It's funny seeing the players down here holding those cards, trying not to blow away. 2nd down and 8 here for St. Francis. Trying to get something going here. Zillinger, motion man again. Faked, Sam wants to keep it. And again, no room. He makes 1 miss, he maybe gets a yard. Oh my goodness.
They are really keying Sam. Safety again just shot the gap there wide open. Sam was able to get away from him and get a couple yards, but they got a guy on Sam everywhere he goes here. Right here, watch that safety shoot right there. Sam makes a miss, but look at there's great push by the Roosevelt defensive line too, controlling the line of scrimmage.
5 wide, empty backfield for Tumulty, still waiting for the cards to, he just calls the play himself.
I'd like to see him run out of this here.
He does indeed. He picks up a first down. Tumulty picks up 10 yards and moves the chains, but more importantly, the clock continues to wind here in this third quarter with the Saints in control of the football.
I mean, just because of the down and distance, there was that threat of the pass. They ran a motion, cleared out one of the defenders, and then Sam ran off tackle. Good, beautiful blocking on the left side. Great call. When the ball is in his hands, boy, a lot of good things happen.
James Williams in for the first time offensively. I love James Williams as a runner. He's on the right hip of Sam Tumulty. Zillinger motions. They're going to go behind Williams with Sam. Decisive run. Tumulty turns the corner. Pushed out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. That is a pickup of 9 yards for the Saints quarterback.
Adjustment the Saints have made with an excellent adjustment is they're using motion for the misdirection to take a defender out, but now they're using the remaining back as a lead blocker for Sam. Rather than Sam run just on his own, he's got a lead blocker now on that edge play, and that's where they've been able to pick up good yardage on the last 2 plays. See if they motion back to the right here again.
2nd down and 9. Good looking drive here by the Saints. Hand off to Williams. He'll pick up the 1st down. Stacked up at the 14-yard line. That's a pickup of 5 yards and a Saints first. 6:40 to go and the clock winding in our 3rd quarter. Take a look again. Offensive line, some nice
blocking up front, getting a good push. And another 1st down. You're eating up the clock. You're taking the wind away from Roosevelt by controlling the ball in this 3rd quarter, and now back in the red zone.
St. Francis, one of the best teams in the country, inside the 20. 3 wideouts and Williams on the left hip.
Moved.
Flag, yep, false
Left
start.
guard, I think.
It's the first penalty of the game on the Saints, so you can't be too angry, but you like to not have maybe be in the red zone.
Like I say, it's hard to hear with that wind, so sometimes your cadence may be off.
Yeah, I think it was that left guard. I think Peyton Bogie, 73. St. Francis ranked number 25 in the country right now. First time they've been in the top 25 since the preseason poll. Roosevelt been bopping up and down in the middle of the polls. They're ranked number 16 at the moment. 1st down and 15 after the penalty. Sam's going to keep it. Inside run for Tumulty. Beautiful run near the 10, inside the 10. He picks up 11 yards on that carry. 2nd down and 4. Wow, Tumulty's found something. He's running with a little bit more urgency and purpose on this drive.
The nice thing about that play is that Sam has been running outside the past few carries. He took that jab step like he was going outside. The linebacker vacated the area. He cut right back up. Good blocking on the left side. Great read by Sam to take it up inside.
Williams to the right of Tumulty. James this time looking for the 1st down. Look at the pile. Close, but I think it's a yard shy. I think it's going to be 3rd and 1 from the 6 for USF. Six plays, 34 yards so far in this drive.
Big 3rd down here, Nick.
So they thought he got further than he did. They reset the play clock as the ball was blown off the line of scrimmage from the wind again. So it's 3rd and 3 here for USF again. 4-down territory. Williams left hip of Tumulty. Keeps it himself, right up the middle, makes the guy miss, cuts it, touchdown! Saints take the lead, and with that touchdown, Sam Tumulty becomes the all-time leader, or becomes the single-season leader in touchdowns on the ground for St. Francis, with number 15 on the year. Sam Tumulty now the single-season leader in rushing touchdowns.
It's great to see him getting Sam going here in the 2nd half, isn't it, Nick? Again, another play fake. And he just runs right up inside what they did earlier to get the 1st down.
Huge. Snap is a good one. Matthews holds down. Madej's kick is good. 13-10 with 4:11 left to go in the 3rd, and they did it against the wind.
4:11 left to go in the 3rd, and only 4:11 left for Roosevelt to have the wind at their back. That was a big play. Great play calling there. I love seeing Sam running up in between the tackles. Again, it all comes down to the mistakes, getting the fumble, taking a defense that creates turnovers and a good running game. It's lethal for most teams to have to play against the Saints. It is a lethal combination to be able to run the ball well and have a defense that's opportunistic.
8 plays, 43 yards, in 5 minutes and 17 seconds. It took him 5 minutes to go 43 yards. That is a thing of beauty in this type of game, in this weather.
So true, Nick. That was a great drive. Another hard kick down the middle, I'm guessing. Ooh.
Keep it in the air. That's a
could be a
live
problem.
ball. That's a live ball. Ooh, great play. That could have been a penalty, too, if they didn't give him a chance to catch the ball.
That That is almost like that's like the best onside kick you could have. Kick it, pop it up in the air like that.
The flag comes out, so do they have to give him a chance to catch the ball?
Yeah, you have to give him a chance to catch the ball.
Well, he touched it. He
Yeah.
touched it. That was a well-timed hit.
That was bang, bang. I don't know if that was a foul.
He didn't call a fair catch.
No, he did not.
Oh, they do call it on the Saints. It's not a great call. It was on the field. It did look. It looked worse than it was.
Is it?
That's a terrible call.
Right on the money.
It's right on there. That's
It's a tough call.
it is. You have to give him room to catch the ball, even if he doesn't call a fair catch.
Let's go, D. Let's go, defense.
Great field position for Roosevelt. Chasing 10. Also with that touchdown for Sam Tumulty, he moves into second place all-time in points in a season. 90, tied with Garen Demery and Brandon Ruffin, chasing Larson. Inside run here for Johnson.
Well, the Saints came with a safety blitz, and they ran it up inside. I don't know if they were anticipating an outside run, but boy, he came hard off the edge, but they were able to run it right up the middle, get some good positive yards.
Tumulty is also 2 touchdowns shy of the career mark. He now has 29 career touchdowns, which is 2 behind John Larson, who had 31 back from 87 to 89. Reverse here for Roosevelt. Saints have it wrapped up. Nick Mabudis saw it coming a mile away.
Boy, he just kept his ground and played that perfect. Read it perfectly, wasn't fooled, and then makes a great open field tackle.
Roosevelt trying everything they can to move the football, but Saints defense playing great. 3rd down and 6. Field position here because of the penalty on the kickoff by the Saints. Roosevelt trying to take advantage of the wind at their back for the next 3 minutes, and that wind is kicking up again, sending the benches literally flying. Big 3rd down for the Lakers. Johnson inside run, bottled up right away. It was Mike Johnson getting an arm on him, and it was Mike Whitney shutting it down. 4th down for the Lakers.
A great play by Whitney. Watch him right here. Step up, fill the gap. Boom, right there. Beautiful play. The Saints defense has been just playing outstanding all afternoon.
The Saints have owned the 3rd quarter in this 6-game winning streak. They have outscored their opponents 79 to 15 in the 3rd quarters and are averaging 36 points a game during that stretch.
And today, dominating the 3rd quarter again.
Once more, 4th down for the Lakers. Wilson to throw. Nothing there. Down he goes. Ball's out. It's the Saints football.
Another turnover for Johnson.
Pat Stroja looks like he was the one who knocked it away. Mike Johnson picks it up. Whether it was a fumble or not, it was going to be Saints football. The second takeaway of the game for USF. And again, the 3rd quarter belongs to St. Francis.
What a great play by Stroja. Just a straight bull rush. He pushed the tackle all the way back to the quarterback, came off to his inside and made the sack. What a football play by Pat Stroja. What a great pickup that was to get him.
Another one from Michael Johnson. You'll love to see it. It's a fun game when things are going right. 1st down. McLaren, a tough run, stretching it out past the 40-yard line. He picks up. Actually, they don't give him the stretch, so 4 yards on the, make it 3 yards on the carry. Timeout called by Roosevelt, trying to preserve the wind.
Yep. Try to get at least one more possession with the wind at their back. Seeing St. Francis took the wind away from them this quarter, they're going to try and get at least one more.
And it's a
shot.
different feel when you're chasing 10 here, too.
It feels
My
like 30.
goodness.
It does. And look at the efficiency of the St. Francis offense going into the win this quarter. Even though they had a short field, they got 1st downs, they moved the ball, they mixed up the running game. They got Sam running both outside and inside. Great adjustments at halftime by the coaching staff of the Saints.
Sam Tumulty still hasn't completed a pass today. He's 0 for 7. But he has picked up 51 yards on the ground in that touchdown. St. Francis as a whole, 102 yards rushing. Well, like I said, they haven't completed a pass, so that is the totality of their offense.
Sam's looked like a hockey goalie with some of those snaps coming back. He's done an amazing job as an athlete catching some of those.
You're absolutely right. St. Francis has it 2nd down and 6. Sam's going to keep it, look for the edge. Track
Boy,
down
how about the
behind.
closing speed by,
Yeah.
was that Moorhead?
Is it number 1? Yeah, that's what I thought too. The senior out of Glenbard West. That's a football school.
Look at this closing speed right here by the big guy.
6'1", 242. Had 2 sacks last week against St. Ambrose. Second on the Lakers defense in tackles for a loss. He now has 5.5.
That was impressive. Well, another timeout, so that's going to leave Roosevelt with 1 timeout. They may end up using that one too after this to save some time. So they may not have any timeouts going into the 4th quarter.
See if we can get a peek at that St. Xavier score as of 10 minutes ago. Another score from St. Xavier. They have a 31-14 lead over St. Ambrose up at Darcy Field on the campus of St. Xavier University. That is the next opponent for St. Francis. If, and it's a big if, we got a long way to go here at the stadium, but if they can escape Roosevelt, that'll set up a conference championship game next week against the Cougars.
Well, one of the things that's a benefit for St. Francis running the ball, even if they don't get a 1st down, they're going to take away all of Roosevelt's timeouts.
Yep.
Forcing them to call timeout before they punt the ball.
Yep. They try to go to McLaren again, and he was stuffed. Nope, this time it was Charlie Brooks, the 6'1" defensive tackle out of Homewood Flossmoor. He has 6 sacks and 8.5 tackles for a loss, so he can make it 9 now to lead the team in both of those categories. Final timeout. Can you believe that? All 3 timeouts called in the 3rd quarter by the team that's trailing. Here's the play again.
Great play. I tell you, their defensive front has been played very well. Because we really haven't, as far as numbers of, yards that we've gained offensively, but we've utilized the field position, takeaways by the defense, mistakes by Roosevelt, and St. Francis was able to score twice going into the wind, which is really amazing on a day like today, which goes to show they used all 3 timeouts because of the situation of the wind to try and get 1 more possession with the wind at their back.
Roosevelt averages 5.1 yards per carry, 7th in the country, but today, just 1.9. 4th down for St. Francis.
Coming to block again, nobody deep.
Yeah, they're going to give it to Maffey. Maffey can punt it, by the way.
So now they're
good snap. Yeah, he's just going to roll to the right, try to get a punt off. He does, but it gets caught up in the wind. Somebody's got it down. There you go at the 43. So it's a 3-yard punt. Yeah. It's comical at this point, watching them try to kick a ball into the wind.
I mean, you think about it. Think about going for it then.
Yeah, might as well run it, right?
Scott will get 3 yards.
He'll get you
more.
3 yards.
Yeah.
Might get hurt.
Or Sam, Sam will get you 3 yards or more.
Well, Scott will too.
But Scott will too.
You see the word is relentless, and I'm not sure people who are watching can appreciate how strong this wind is. We've tried to show you with the shots of the flag, with the benches getting blown down the track, with coats being blown down the track. It's incredibly windy.
Look at the Saints with 3 guys deep.
Yep.
They're playing 5 defensive backs.
Check down. It is complete down the line of scrimmage. Stretching it out is Calhoun.
Way to keep him bound.
What a play.
That's it.
Jalen Cooper. The clock winds as he keeps him in bounds. How does that play only go for a yard?
St. Francis had all their defensive backs deep. They had to throw underneath. They kept it in front of them. See the guys down there, look at them come up and corral. They kept everybody in front. They're trying to get a block on the edge. Great play there.
Yeah. That bench
Number
is about
5.
to blow over again here on the St. Francis side. So you just can't use it anymore. I'm surprised I don't see Oshikaya Bakumi out there. They got Pat Stroja and Ryan King, the pass rushing defensive ends.
That's it. Everybody else, look at the coverage they got here. 5 guys, 20 yards off.
Fumble again on the snap. Wilson picks it up. Looking outside, and he trips at the line of scrimmage. He may have lost one. Falling apart here offensively for the Lakers. They go backward. It's going to be 2nd and 10, maybe 11. Again, the snaps are not a gimme today. Nobody is snapping the ball with any kind of consistency, and I wouldn't expect them to with the wind.
Well, here's the situation here. If they don't get the first down here, if the clock continues running, they'll have to punt into the wind.
3rd down and 11. Throwing and incomplete.
Stops the clock.
Angel Mata perfectly timed to knock that out of the hands of Alex Tran. Angel Mata has been outstanding on his senior season. There he is.
Look at how
Boom.
quick he reacts to the pass. Comes up, makes a big play, separating the receiver from the ball.
Leads the team in interceptions. Had one last week against Olivet. He's actually 2 picks shy of the single-season record himself. He has the 2nd most interceptions in the NAIA. Number 8, Angel Mata.
Tremendous player.
4th down and 11.
Might as well.
They're going to go. Yeah, you might as well. Because they're not going to have the win here. 13 seconds to go. Here comes pressure. Meet Pat Stroja. Down they go. And it's a loss of 12, giving the Saints excellent field position with 9 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Pat Stroja, have yourself a quarter here.
I think they only rushed 3 guys on that play, Nick. And Stroja makes another great play coming off the edge. They're having a hard time blocking him. Here again, look at the leverage he held. It's coming right outside. Wow. King was in there too.
Ryan King was there at the end. How about those two? The 3rd quarter belongs to St. Francis.
St. Francis defense, their linemen have been playing outstanding today.
Let's go, Wolf!
One more snap and things become a lot harder for Roosevelt. 1st down and 10 at the Laker 48. Sam on the ground.
There's the lead blocker.
Whew. Dan McLaren tried to hit a block out there, but he got leveled. But a nice pickup by Sam. Able to get about 5.
I really like using the lead blocker for Sam. We get him, we need 1 block away from getting a big play here.
Sorry there, Dan.
It worked.
Yeah, Benny Harris, the linebacker. As we go to the 4th quarter, we want to remind you once again that regardless of what happens here, we're cheering for the head coach of Roosevelt. Going through a pretty tough time about a month ago. Lakers head coach Jared Williamson, a very serious car accident, hit by a drunk driver on his way home from a game at Missouri Baptist. He survived, but he sustained many severe injuries. Every rib, bones in his arms and legs and pelvis broken. And thankfully, by the grace of God, he escaped with his life. His family has a father, but he's got a long road ahead of him. So if you have a few dollars that you can donate to the Williamson family to aid in his recovery, the drunk driver, this may come as a shock, but did not have insurance. So the costs are exponentially higher than they would have been and should have been. So if you can go ahead, go to that link right there, gofundit.me. If you can jot down those letters and numbers right there. I did put it in the YouTube live stream chat as well. We'd really appreciate it. Send a few dollars and some love to the Williamson family. We're cheering for you, Coach.
Certainly are.
Here we go, 2nd down for the Saints as they flip the field, wind at their back.
There you go, find it.
Into the hole goes McLaren. Gets to about the 41-yard line. He's able to pick up 4, so 3rd down and 3 coming up for St. Francis. But the body language is different. The vibe, the momentum is in favor of St. Francis right now.
Sure is. And they just keep working this 1-2 punch in their running game.
If we can only get a couple more touchdowns from Providence Catholic and St. Ambrose, it'll be a real good day. 3rd down, 1, 2, what can I say, 4? 3rd down and 4 here for St. Francis. Sam on the ground. He's got some blockers ahead of him, but nice defensive play by Roosevelt. Unable to track him down, though, and St. Francis picks up another third down to move the chains. It's on the legs of Sam Tumulty.
I think the St. Francis offense is really wearing down Roosevelt's defense
yes,
now.
Sir.
They just don't seem as crisp as they were earlier in the game. St. Francis is blocking well on the edge. They're able to run the ball inside. They keep mixing it up, putting a lot of pressure on that defense.
19 carries for Sam Tumulty through 3 quarters in a play. Make it 20. Takes a big hit at the line of scrimmage there. No gain. So Sam Tumulty, besides all those other records we talked about, single season rushing touchdowns, single season scoring, career rushing touchdowns, he's also in the hunt for most carries in a season. That belonging to, find my guy, Gavin Novak, back in 2005, had 255 carries that year. Sam had 193 coming into today. He needs 31 to tie that record. He's at 20 right now. It's, well, now 21, so 10 more carries. Strings that one out, and just as you say that they're not looking as fast and crisp, they track him down on both sides of the field.
Well, that time they took the lead blocker, Daniels, out right away, and they strung it out very well. Took away, forced Sam to go to the sideline. Look how they strung everything out. Another fine play by their secondary. Saints are almost in field, you would think, with this win.
Yeah. Medea's probably feeling pretty confident.
Yeah.
3rd and 11 for St. Francis. Probably a passing situation here. Oh, he's got Hartsfield open, but the pressure's in his face. Sam has to throw it away. Oh, Hartsfield got behind the defense, but great pressure up front by the Lakers. Saved them probably a touchdown here. All Sam had to do was launch it in the air, and I think Hartsfield probably would be able to run it underneath it. Here comes Brian Medea as a punter or as a field goal kicker.
Well, Brooks was in the backfield immediately. And again, the ability of Sam Tumulty to extend plays, get in a position where he saved a sack, to give them another down, to not give up a big sack play or anything like that or a turnover. Sam has that ability to just extend plays. See if we can kick this one out of bounds inside the 5 again.
Last time he put it at the 2. This one looks real good. Angled right, but a penalty comes in as well. And it's going to go out of the back of the end zone. So it's a touchback call, but a flag comes out near the far sideline.
Yeah.
Check out what this might be, a little discussion. See if we can see it here as we watch the punt one more time from Medea. It was a beauty. Nice little spiral punt.
I wonder if they necessary roughness or something along the sideline down there. I don't know.
It looks like 2 fouls on the play. Blindside block, which is declined, and a hold on St. Francis, which will be accepted. Wait, was it on the defense or on the kickoff? Because I think I see the Roosevelt defense out there. Wow. Holy cow, it was on the...
Well, it would have been the hold would have had to take place before the punt. So it may be a situation where they're trying to open up a rush lane, so they may have grabbed one of the offensive linemen and pulled them.
Holy cow.
So that would give them a first down. Give St. Francis a first down.
Holy smokes, the first down on a penalty. We didn't see it. We were looking on the return, not on the kick. But apparently it was on the kick on the Lakers, and penalties have killed the Roosevelt Lakers today.
Yeah, in order for that penalty to be marked, that had to take place prior to the kick.
And there were 2 penalties on him too. So, I think that blocking penalty obviously on the return, but the hold was before the kick.
Yes.
Wow. Another opportunity for St. Francis here on a Roosevelt penalty. 12 minutes to go in the game. More McLaren on the inside. Picked up 2. Liam Eldridge will trot on as a wide receiver. DeJuan Gavin will come off. 6 penalties for 69 yards for Roosevelt.
Yep, Saints just staying with what they do, you know, mixing up their run game. We got three wide receivers in.
What the stats don't show is how many first downs that penalties have taken away for the Lakers.
Yes.
2nd down and 8. Tumulty keeps it inside again, but he was wrapped up around the ankles by Moorhead once more, and it's going to be 3rd and 7 after a pickup of 1 by Tumulty. Again, the passing situation coming up for the Saints.
Well, Moorhead has got, he's all reading Sam Tumulty. He's just all over Sam. He's not even, didn't even affect him to fake a McLaren going to the outside. So we'll see if maybe we try and get McLaren on the edge here to Moorhead's side. He's been closing down hard.
11 minutes and counting. Saints by 10. 3rd and 7. Approaching the 20-yard line. Sam again trying to squeeze in between the guard and tackle, but only 2 yards there. So 4th down, but you're definitely within field goal range here for Brian Madej.
Looks like they may stay and go for it.
They will. I guess not a given with the wind, even at their back, and I think they're comfortable, even if they don't get it, having Roosevelt take over at their own 20 and try to work against the wind.
10 points into the wind with 10 minutes left in the game. That's tough. That's going to be a tough order, especially the way the Saints defense is playing.
Yep.
They've been just stuffing everything.
Trips to the right. McLaren right hip with Tumulty. Williams in motion. And another fumble on the snap, and Sam's just going to go down and grab it and turnover on downs. It's been an issue for both teams, those shotgun snaps. You can see the frustration on the face of 22.
It is. There's a comedy of errors in any kind of long snap or a shotgun snap or punt snap, everything. We've talked about it earlier, and it just continues because the wind has not let up.
Yep. This is the first time I remember doing a football game where the wind has been this strong consistently. And again, the whiteboard goes flying, and if that hits somebody, it's going to hurt.
Wow.
They got to get a hold of that board. Wilson and the Lakers take over with 4 wide receivers. It's Johnson trying to do it with his legs.
See, I
think it's Jalen Cooper.
Even though they had a little something there, the Saints linebackers and secondary just it circle them and it close it down right away because they're not worried about the pass.
Yep.
So you could play 10 men playing a run right there.
Same formation except Tenor in for Johnson. 4 DBs are back, looking to throw into the wind and not even close, looking for Roderick Gaskins for the first time today. 3rd down, man, even on the short pass game when they're looking for just 5 yards, it's right at their feet.
And they're covered.
Yeah.
The Saints are doing a great job in their coverage. They would zone that time. And there was nowhere to really throw that ball.
Third down and 6 for the Lakers. Trips to the right. Receiver left. Wilson looking, going to tuck it and try to pick it up himself. He will be short. It's going to be 4th down. You got to try to punt it.
Yeah. Well,
and they don't have any timeouts to stop the clock either.
No. So impressed with the Saints defense to be able to put pressure on with only 3 guys.
Yeah.
The front 3 has been relentless with the pressure on the quarterback. That allows you to have 8 guys in coverage, and there's nothing you could do.
Yeah, they're not.
If you're Roosevelt's offense, your quarterback scramble around, you got 8 guys in coverage.
Yep.
The Saints, yeah.
You say your punts only go 3 yards anyway. You might as well go for it.
Just go for it.
Johnson on the ground, tucks it, and there he goes. There goes Kevon Johnson. It's a race to the sideline, tracked down by Nicholson, and a huge play, biggest play of the game for Roosevelt. They go for about 45 yards on the Kevon Johnson carry.
That's what Johnson can do for you. He's like lightning in a bottle. There's a good kick-out block right there on Logan, and then he's right up the seam and just runs right by the Saints. Great angle taken here to stop to prevent a touchdown, but that's the explosiveness of Kevon Johnson.
And that it also gives them a little bit of confidence, a little bit more momentum.
That was the first fourth down play, I think, that successful.
Screen pass outside to Tenner, but he's hit immediately, and down he goes. 41, Logan Johnson, the senior out of Bishop Mack with a tackle.
Yeah, Johnson was right there on it again. Ever since they threw that pass in the first quarter, Johnson has had it covered ever since then. It's the same play where they try to hit the back coming out of the backfield. Johnson's all over it and makes a great open field tackle. There
One
he is.
One
What
of
a
the 10
player.
seniors that will be graduating this year. Throwing again, Wilson. Cam Holman gets to him for the first sack of the game. Those Saints D linemen are getting after it.
Relentless. They're as relentless as the wind today.
Yes, they are.
Their technique is so good, too. They are coached up so well. You watch the way they play.
Cam Holman now with 2.5 sacks on the season.
Whether it's a rip move or a bull rush or a spin, these guys are very difficult to block.
Third down and a mile into the wind for the Lakers. Ears pinned back for the D linemen. Here they come. He steps up, throws as he's hit, floating in the air. It is nearly intercepted, knocked down by Cooper, and it brings up a fourth down. They have no other choice than to launch that ball into the wind, and that's an interception waiting to happen for those guys.
Well, the interception would be better than the punt. You throw it that far, it's might as well just keep your punter on the sidelines now.
All right.
Again, pressure.
If the Saints are going to pick a ball off, it's probably going to be on this play. They have 16 interceptions as a team, third most in the NAIA. They've had a pick in each game but the first. Here we go.
Blitz.
Wilson checks it. Nothing. Fires. He's going to throw it out of bounds. That's going to be another turnover on downs. Saints take over at the 35. 7:05 to go in the game.
How about those Saints defense? They give up the big play, the big run on fourth down by Kevon Johnson, come right back with a sack, and then just constant pressure on the quarterback at Roosevelt. Just a great way. They just, after a big play, they come right back and shut them down.
The first half was back and forth. We didn't know how it was going to go. As you see that ball flutter harmlessly away. Nice catch by the St. Francis coach over there. One-handed grab. Nicely done. But from halftime on, it's been all St. Francis.
All St. Francis. Forced turnovers, took advantage of some penalty mistakes by Roosevelt.
Sam on the draw. Looking for any kind of daylight. Nothing there. It was Brooks to take him down. Now approaching 10 tackles for a loss on the season.
They could take their time, run.
Yeah.
They're milking it. They're in the milk it offense. Take your time. Roosevelt can't stop the clock. Run that play clock all the way down. Keep running the ball. Now you're at third down. The big thing is to make sure you protect your punter, get a good snap if you're going to run it here to keep the clock going.
No timeouts for Roosevelt.
No timeouts.
Roosevelt used all 3 of their timeouts during the third quarter to try to preserve the wind at their back. But that's actually when the Saints scored their lone touchdown of the game in that third quarter.
Yes.
That backfired.
And normally when you think of a 10-point lead, you think that, hey, it's not that much. But today it feels like it's a 30-point lead.
That's amen. Hold on to the ball. That guy knows what he's talking about. Third
That
down
time
and
he
12.
snapped it again with 5 seconds. So
McLaren, took a big hit.
nice
helmet to
tackle
helmet.
there. Wow.
Dan's been taking some big hits at the end of those runs. Popped that back out. Looks like he's okay. But yes, a loss of 2, but the clock winds. We'll take a look at it again here.
Here's Draper. He's been playing great all day. He's been
Oh.
making good tackler, that kid. Big hit.
On comes Madej, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to call him off. Maybe call a timeout here.
They're going to run it all the way down. They're going to run the play clock down to zero, call timeout.
We will be under 5 minutes in this game, and the Saints with a 10-point lead. Even with that big run by Kevon Johnson, Roosevelt unable to really move it on St. Francis.
Emphasis on protection right here. Protect the punter. We
Yep.
cannot give up a block punt in this situation.
Roosevelt has 94 rushing yards, but about half of them came on one play. So really, they only have about 50 rushing yards and 52 passing yards.
Well, the thing is that the Saints really adjusted to the conditions very
point.
well today.
Great point. And there's Derek Matejek, one of those camera operators today that said, you know what wind? It's game day, baby. We come to play.
If anyone can handle the elements, it's Derek Matejek, that's for sure.
We've come to play.
Okay, let's get this thing off. Get a good snap. Let's get this punt off clean.
Oh, they got it off. Into the jet stream it goes.
Excellent.
Look at that thing fly.
Excellent.
Line of scrimmage was about the 30, so it's
high fives for the punter here. High fives for the punt team. That was big.
It's about a 45, 50-yard punt by Brian Madej, and he really didn't even get a hold of it.
I was glad he got it off. They had good pressure again, but he stood right there, got it off like he had to. Now you're looking at 80 yards.
That's it.
And they have to score twice. Yeah, I thought the Saints did a great job, especially coming out of halftime, but adjusted to the elements today. Took advantage of some mistakes. McCarthy's call in the red zone is excellent, the way they mix up their running game, running Sam outside and inside. Use formations, use motion to take advantage of the man-to-man coverage and to create some open lanes to run in. It was just a well-executed third quarter by the Saints.
Wilson in the air, pitch and catch. Nice catch made by Jarrell Calhoun. That's an 11-yard pickup to move the chains. Update from Bishop Caffer Stadium. Providence Catholic wins 24-14. Go Celtics. Let's go.
Congratulations to the Celtics. As difficult it is for me to say that.
They're moving on to the third round of the playoffs.
Well,
CELTICS.
Congratulations, Celtics. Congratulations to Hilltoppers for another fine year, too, under Jake Jaworski and the guys.
Wilson running for his life. Spun down.
In that rivalry, it's hard to beat someone twice in the
Yes, it
same
is.
year, you know.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Providence exacts their revenge.
Well, your Diet Coke's going to taste extra good tonight, isn't it, kid?
That's right.
With the Saints coming through like they are today and the Celtics moving on.
Clock winds as Wilson is able to only pick up a few feet on that play. Chased down by 54, Carson Hansen, a freshman linebacker from Wilmington who looks real good today. It's really our first look at Carson. Here comes the blitz. Wilson lets it fly into the jet stream and out of bounds. A for effort on the play, but that was uncatchable.
That was way out of bounds.
Yeah.
Again,
Wanted
the
to go
pressure
for
that St. Francis continues to put on the passer, and then to try and throw the ball into the wind. Look at here again. They brought the blitz. Good push up the middle. He had nowhere to step up because really you got to feel like you really got to step into your throws going into the wind. You can't really get a tight spiral.
Third down and 9 for the Lakers. They have no option but to throw it, but you got to think an interception is just waiting to happen here with one of the best teams to do that in the country. Wilson looking, hit, ball's on the ground. Ryan King picks it up at the 19-yard line, and the Saints take over in the red zone with their third takeaway of the game.
Phenomenal. You know, when you know exactly what the offense has to do, it really makes your defensive play calling much easier. But the relentless rush, the constant pressure put on Roosevelt by our Saints defensive line has been fantastic all day. And another turnover.
Ryan King's turn to slam it home. Where's the senior at? See what he comes up with. Oh, one-handed power, of course. Tumblety will keep it on the ground. Picks up about 2. The clock will continue to wind.
Tough nut, that kid. Man, oh man.
He's not one to run out of bounds, especially not in this situation, but he could have been up by 10, or they could be needing the clock to be stopped. He's still, I'm not sure he would do it.
Again, you know, slips out of a tackle in the backfield. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. It's nothing like watching that clock tick down.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very impressive victory today by the Saints. Very impressive by the way they handled not only a great Roosevelt team that was only with 1 loss of the season, but the way they handled the elements as well.
And did not get the snap off in time.
It's all right.
Oh, timeout. They saved the yardage on the play. 2:44 left to go. St. Xavier, I would assume, in control over St. Ambrose at home. Let's get an update from that game.
Some happy fans there. Enjoying the beautiful day here.
Yeah, up against the wall. Trying to get out of the wind as much as possible. The young and the old alike
there
enjoying some St. Francis football today.
Dancing in the wind there. Well, this is what a run.
Yep.
With the record, 7th straight, first time St. Francis history they've won 7 straight.
Yep.
I know I'm talking a little premature with 244, but you will not see this ball be thrown in the air or kicked by St. Francis at all. We're going to run as much clock down here.
The fact that they had to use all their timeouts in the third quarter really made this fourth quarter difficult for the Lakers. Take all the air out, no pun intended, of their offense.
Yes.
McLaren.
There you go.
Up to the 15-yard line. 3rd down and 6. 2.5 to go here in the game.
Good job of their 4-minute drill. Just milking the clock. Safe running plays. The only thing that's you concern yourself about is make sure you get good snaps here in the shotgun. But they're in complete control the entire second half.
3rd down and 6 to McLaren again. Nice stutter step. There goes Dan. 5 diving. Touchdown Saints.
There it is.
Ball game.
Right up the middle.
Dan McLaren on 14 carries. 33 yards and a touchdown today. His 2nd touchdown of the season. One of the best kids you're ever going to meet, too.
I tell you.
He earned that one.
Sam's fake just froze the edge people to the right, and then they were late coming down as he broke through the middle of the line. Sam made an unbelievable fake. Great blocking up front. It's good to see.
Blocked extra point.
Well,
Day is going to slide on top of it. 19-3 with under 2 minutes to go. Roosevelt, no timeouts. How about this? 111 yards of total offense, all on the ground for St. Francis today. Not one completion through the air.
This old-time coach is not going to complain about that. I love that running game.
Yeah.
But that, again, we talk about how you're going to adjust to the elements, right? Coach Curry, Coach McCarthy, and the staff have done a tremendous job of adjusting to the elements. And the fact that you have the multiple threat in the running game, there's where your diversity comes. It's not just one back getting the ball all the time, but you got a quarterback that can run. So you get your diversity in the running game. You can mix it up there. And I think, again, you can see how they just constantly wore down just kept pounding them. There's nothing like the feeling when you know you can run the ball and they can't stop you. And that's what happened here in the second half for the Saints.
Roosevelt 1 for 13 on third down, 1 for 6 on fourth down. The kickoff will go to the 5. It's muffed but picked up. Here comes the return from Perkins, I should say, up to the 30.
Who'd ever think a game you'd have go for it 6 times on fourth down?
Yeah. Punting not really an option today.
No.
Roosevelt has fumbled the ball 4 times and gave it up twice. I thought it was 3. Maybe they called wasn't it? I could have sworn it was 3 lost fumbles, but
maybe the one fumble they called him down and it was over lost
fourth down.
Yeah, that might have been.
Could have been.
But again, here's the Saints. It was 3 interceptions last week. It's 3 fumbles this week. They find a way to take the ball away. They create turnovers. They put pressure on the quarterback. They're able to stuff running games. The defense has played phenomenal.
They are plus 12 this season in turnover ratio, as they almost get another one there. Plus 12 in turnover ratio, 21 interceptions, 13 fumble recoveries. Their 16 interceptions are 3rd most in the country. You see it, almost another one here.
What a combination. Strong running game, opportunistic defense. Going into the last game of the season when it's all on the line, boy, you like to see your teams playing this well. And then the special teams, too.
Yep. Ryan Madej had a day. Wilson looking, Mike. Who was that leaping? That was the guy we were talking about earlier, Carson Hansen, the freshman from Wilmington, just leaping over the offensive line. Easy there, Carson.
Well, if the track coach is here today, he's going to be recruiting someone for the high jump. When he jumped over the entire offensive line.
Yeah, and there's Mike Whitney, the middle linebacker. Was that Mike who jumped over? Is that 45? No, it was 54. 54. Yeah, Carson, look at him.
Yeah. My God.
Easy, man. Across the middle, nice completed pass on the slant up to the 47.
That was a heck of a throw right there.
Yeah. The wind died down for a second.
Between two of St. Francis had that covered perfect. A guy above and a guy below, and he zipped it right in there.
We will have a chance to talk with Coach after the game, I think, if he doesn't blow away. Here's Wilson to the outside. Anyone didn't have a chance. You saw how the wind affected that pass.
Those sideline passes.
Yep. You got to almost try to throw it 10 yards in front of those guys if you're throwing to the sideline. The wind will blow it right back at them. 1:01 to go in this game.
It couldn't have been a better third quarter for the Saints. To be able to score twice, to eat up the clock and take away from Roosevelt. Roosevelt's offense didn't really get a chance to play with the wind in the second half.
Nope, took that whole advantage away. Second down, 61 seconds to go. They're going to go down the field, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Mike Whitney. The 17th. The 17th. There come the flags at the end. The frustration being shown by the Lakers. 17 team interceptions right now, and there's a brawl.
You don't like to see this, no. Another turnover.
Another turnover. Another takeaway by the Saints. Their 17th interception.
They're going to have to get another basketball hoop. I don't think that one's going to last the season.
That's the first pickoff by Whitney on senior day. Good for you, Mike. Something he'll remember for the rest of his life as the Saints wave goodbye to the Lakers today.
Way to finish off the regular season at home.
Unbelievable performance today by the Brown and Gold. Unbelievable.
as good a second half as you could play with the elements. And that's the thing I thoroughly enjoy watching the Saints play. Nothing affects them. They're able to adjust and make and play the game on both sides of the ball like they did today. It's got to be exciting getting ready to go into St. Xavier next week.
Let's see Mike Whitney's first slam dunk. He didn't go as hard as he should. Come on there, Mike.
Layup. I would have done a layup. I would have done a finger roll.
Yeah.
Come on.
Mike, one of the seniors who are leaving.
Be creative if you're going to do that stuff.
One of the senior linebackers, actually the entire linebacker corps, will be leaving us today. There it is.
He's tired.
Yeah, he's tired. You're exactly right.
I want to mess around with this.
Coming up next for Roosevelt is Olivet Nazarene back at home in Arlington Heights. Next up for St. Francis, take on St. Xavier for the conference championship, a team they haven't beaten in over 20 years.
It's not complicated, is it?
It is not complicated.
Down to one game, 2 teams to win the conference.
Yep. Expect a couple of kneel downs here after they march off the various penalties from the interception.
I know Coach Murray doesn't like to see what's happening out here. And it's been a tough month for this team, as you mentioned. Their coach being severely injured, and Mike Murray's done a great job. I think they won 4 straight when he took over still. And this was a big game. This could be their season now as far as making the playoffs coming in here. And St. Francis just well prepared. And, definitely need kneel down time. No greater feeling than that.
There's one kneel down. They'll need one more to put this game in the books. St. Francis has been outgained today, 146 yards to 110. But all the Saints needed was 110 rushing yards to beat Roosevelt 19-3 and set up a conference championship game next week in Chicago.
Well, what's the only stat that matters? It's that 19-3. And the Saints defense. Creating turnovers, giving the offense opportunities there in the third quarter. Saints defense today was marvelous.
We will talk with head coach Joe Curry momentarily. An unbelievable defensive effort, getting it done on the ground. But the third quarter has been the Saints' quarter in this run, and more punches getting thrown. Now, there's some trash talking going on there. Nobody needs that.
Come on, let's cut that out, guys. Come on. Don't. It's a great win today. Don't tarnish it right now.
Exactly right.
Get away.
Mike Murray, you're the interim head coach right now, kind of directing his players as well.
Yeah. Joe runs a class program, so Mike's always been a class guy. So
nobody wants to see
nobody
it.
wants to see this. And
they're going to finish that handshake line at the end, but emotions are running high for sure between these two teams. They've been going at it for a while, ever since Roosevelt started their program back in 2011. And when you play close games, this is actually the largest margin of victory in the entire series. The largest one before today was last year when it was 14-0, and this one 19-3, a 16-point win for St. Francis. Coach Curry's on the field, kind enough to join us. Coach, first off, congratulations, the first St. Francis team to win 7 in a row. And I know it's kind of hard to hear down there, but I want you to talk about what it is about third quarters in this team coming out of those halftime locker rooms, because you have owned the third quarter the last 7 games.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen today with this win, but we talked about it at halftime as a staff. We just wanted to, we felt good about the fourth quarter and us having the win in the fourth quarter. So that's what we went with. And so happens, in a day like today, anything can happen where the wind blew the snap over the punter's head. We get fortunate to get a score there, and then we just get a turnover and manage to punch one in there, and it's great to see for us.
Well, Joe, to have a defense that creates turnovers and to have the running game that you have, that's pretty lethal for your opponents. You won 7 in a row, and you seem to get better each week. But, boy, congratulations to you on a fine defensive effort and then that running game. It's a great combination to have going into St. Xavier.
It is, and it's one thing that we've kind of rode all year, and we've tried to get better every single week at it. And you got to give them credit; they got a hell of a defense over there too, and we just made just enough plays today, both offensively and defensively, in the kicking game in order to win today.
I thought you guys really adjusted and handled the elements very well today. Maybe that was the big difference, I think, between the two teams, is how well you came out in the second half and some of the adjustments you made, the running plays that you guys ran to mix it up a little bit down in the red zone. But you did a great job of adjusting to these elements.
It was a constant thing. We knew throughout the week we worked on our squib kicks, we worked on our punts against the wind, and although those didn't work out for us all that well, but it was something that we tried to work on all week because we knew the elements, and we got to the point where, I can't blame Brian. The ball literally blew off. So I was like, well, we're not punting again. I don't care if we're on our own 20-yard line. Like we're still going to go for it, and because I have that much confidence in our defense and our guys to get out there and get stops, at least hold them out of the end zone, which we were able to do today.
Congratulations, Coach. We'll let you go celebrate 7 wins in a row. And by the way, Sam Tumblety now has 15 touchdowns this year, the most rushing touchdowns ever by a Saint.
Oh. Congratulations to Sam.
Pass our congratulations off to him.
All right, we'll do.
Good luck against St. Xavier, Coach.
Right, thanks,
good luck.
Guys.
Coach Curry, always kind enough to join us, win or lose, from the sidelines. It got a little windy, a little noisy there, so we're going to let him go celebrate with his team. And it's a big one. It's a big one to beat a rival like the Lakers. It's even bigger when it sets up the kind of game that we have next week.
Wow. It comes down to this. I remember when I first met you, and you're talking about last year and how the season went. And here we are again.
Here we are.
We got off to a rough start, 7 in a row, and we're right back at a chance to win the conference with St. Xavier.
The players, they attacked this year as if it was climbing a mountain. They got just shy of the pinnacle last year, falling in overtime to St. Xavier, able to get a co-conference championship out of it, but I don't think that made them as happy as it should have been. So they knew coming into this season, if we take care of business, we take care of business against the Judsons, the Trinities. We have Olivet, Roosevelt, St. Xavier at the end of the year. If you get Olivet, you get Roosevelt, you set up that conference championship, because likely St. Xavier is going to go undefeated, which they have. They beat St. Ambrose today. They're undefeated, and so is St. Francis, and it sets up a true conference championship game next week in Chicago. You going to come up with me?
I'm coming. I'm there.
It's going to be a fun one.
I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
A couple final numbers. I was looking at some older numbers on our stats. It didn't update quite as quick. So St. Francis actually ended up with 125 rushing yards. That was all of their total yards. Sam Tumblety was 0 for 8 in the passing game, but he led the team in rushing with 51. Dan McLaren, a nice game, 17 carries, 29 yards, and a touchdown. Keenan Haley only able to get 6 carries, but he picked up 25 yards before he had to go out with an injury. He tried to come back later in the game, but it wasn't quite the same. Dezion Jordan got a big carry. His first carry of the season was a 14-yard first down. And James Williams, a couple carries for 6 yards as well. On the other side of things, for Roosevelt, 80 passing yards, 82 on the ground, led by Kevon Johnson. He had 20 carries for 97 yards. Most of them came on just one carry, a 39-yard run there in the second half. But other than that, pretty quiet. St. Francis defense was very good today, holding Roosevelt to just 2 for 15 on third down, 1 for 7 on fourth down, sacking Luke Wilson 4 times, taking away 2 fumbles and an interception by Mike Whitney. Unbelievable defensive effort today.
Well, St. Francis keeps improving each week. I think it's the greatest compliment you can give these group of guys is that they keep getting better. So I don't even think St. X has seen the best of the Saints yet, and they'll be even better next week. They'll have a good week of preparation. It's going to be a tremendous game next week. I'm enjoying going to be there with you on that one, Nick, and let's hopefully when that game's over, we're talking playoffs.
Should be a fun one. Congratulations to the seniors who played their last home game, unless they get a home conference or home playoff game, which I'm not sure is in the possibility or not, but congratulations to Logan Johnson and TJ Neal and Mike Whitney. The entire starting linebacker core won't be back next year. Defensive lineman Ryan King has been spectacular all year long. The DBs, Terrence Nicholson, Angel Mata, Jalen Cooper, Jermaine Ross, the entire starting secondary outside of Scott Tumulty is not going to be back next year. The more I think about this, the more I'm worried about next year. Kaman Karan, also the wide receiver, a couple spectacular catches this year, and then the backup quarterback Eric Maffey, a senior this year as well. So 10 of those guys playing in their last regular season home game here at Memorial Stadium. You can speak on that, what it's like for these seniors and to play, not only to play on a senior night, but to play as well as they did today.
Well, to be a part of a program for 4 years or more, all that sweat, all that work, the lifting in the off season, the in season, it's a bittersweet. I think they're very happy at their accomplishments, but it's also sad when you have to say goodbye to your teammates. And the great thing is that they're doing it with success, which makes it even extra special. Seeing all the parents here today and families and seeing them on the field together, how great it must feel going into with a 7-game winning streak and to finish your collegiate career on your home field in such a manner. So very proud of those guys. I know it's very special. I know it was always, as a coach, it was always bittersweet for me on senior night because you hate to see those guys go, but you're so proud and know they're going to go on to be successful as citizens and as in the workforce and as husbands and parents and everything. So you're really glad to see their growth and happy for them at this day.
Well, the Saints have been getting better and better every single game, and they're going to have to be at their best next week when they travel up to St. Xavier to take on the undefeated Cougars. Worth mentioning one more time as well, Sam Tumulty with his touchdown today became the single-season rushing touchdown leader for the University of St. Francis, passing Garen Demery, who had 14 back in 2011. Actually, Sam had 14 last year as well to tie it. He got his 15th this year to be the sole owner of that record. It's a couple of touchdowns shy of the career record as well. So Sam Tumulty having a heck of a season, as you see the senior Ryan King celebrating with his family and friends on the field right now. Your final here at a very, very windy Joliet Memorial Stadium. St. Francis upsets number 16 Roosevelt 19-3. We'll talk to you from the south side next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.